You ain't gotta say a word, just walk that, let's get burned. Then we'll roll up 100 fucking nuts. All up in my mouth, now I'm all up in yo. This nigga got pounds of it, all up in his truck. Now we both look Asian, he waving and I'm drunk. I got dank shit in my cup, you know what I'ma do to you. I could give reviews to you, blow, we X, and we sipping on that juice. That's just what she choose to do. you are there, smiling back at me, dancing in moonlight. I know you are free, 'cause I can see your star shining down on me.
at 5 in the morning. I wake up to fight for my earnings. Fear in my mind is a warning. Pray to the one you're relying. I've been wandering all day. I tried to be fine, but I can't be. The noise in my mind wouldn't leave me. I tried to get by, but I'm burning. I'm behind, my mind it runs. All these thoughts have troubled me. Fighting to give up my pain. Fighting to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need. My yeah, I really need time now. I need to free mind now. I really need mine now. I need to free my mind now. I really need time now. I need to free mind now. I really need mine now. Yeah. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Send me a love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Finding a way where you cannot see. Man with this system, he cannot pray. I need to find relief. But behind my mind it runs. All these thoughts have troubled me. Fighting to give up my pain. Fighting to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need. I really need my love. I need to free my mind. I really need time now. I need to free my mind now. I really need time now. I need to free my mind now. I really need time now. Oh, yeah. Just let me free, freer than the open mind, farther than the eyes can handle, freer than the ocean now. Yeah. So set me free. Now I need to find relief. Set me to the open sky. Now I need to free my mind. Yeah.
Drop top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds up and down my chain. Cardi B straight stunning, can't tell me that the boss up and not chance again. It's my big bronze boogie, got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cooked. Some dollar bills, now we popping rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, yeah. Flexing on the gram like, yeah. Hit the little John, okay. Oh yeah, we dripping up in this game.
Ooh, don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night. Good morning, good morning. Hey, y'all. Come on in, come on in. Happy Friday, everybody. We are going to get started because got a long day, long day, long day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Miss B. Hey, Danielle. If y'all are still in the building. All right, so we got a couple. Well, I think we got, we got a couple of updates that we're going to get into this morning, y'all. And we're going to talk about some new stuff, too. I know y'all saw the title. I tried to get everything I can in on these titles. Somebody put a one in. Well, no, never mind. I'll do it myself. Don't worry about it. And we're gonna get started. So the first thing we're gonna get into is an update on the triple homicide that happened in. I don't know why. Y'all know when I be covering so many stories. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my water. I left my water in my bedroom. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. So listen, we've got an update on the triple homicide that happened in Is it Mississippi? Y'all know I'm covering so many stories. I get these cities mixed up. I think it's Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah. We got an update on the triple homicide in Jackson, Mississippi. There has been a fourth arrest in that triple homicide. There's been a fourth arrest, and I got some clips that we're gonna get into talking about other things that are happening besides that arrest. Okay, so we're gonna get right into them. This first one, I think, is the mayor, Jackson mayor. Yeah, the mayor is addressing the crime and what happened with this triple homicide and yada yada yada. You know how they do. So let's listen. Okay.
Celebrate our country, spend time with loved ones, and enjoy our city. Good afternoon. We're coming together today, right before Independence Day, to talk about something that matters to every family in Jackson, and that's safety. This holiday is a time to celebrate our country, spend time with loved ones, and enjoy our city. We want people to have fun, and we want them to do it safely. Standing with me today are our partners in law enforcement and our partners in this effort for safety. We have Chief Rochelle Brackney of the Jackson Police Department, Hinds County Sheriff Tyree Jones. We have with Capitol Police, Major Shanks, and Major Miller. We also have other state and federal law enforcement included here today, including Acting Special Agent in Charge, Meyer Domatsky, and Marsha Lawson with the FBI, Lieutenant Colonel Ivory, head of the Highway Patrol, and Jackson Public Schools Chief Corliss Harris. Different uniforms, different jurisdictions, but one shared job, keeping citizens of Jackson safe. We're all concerned as we've seen an uptick in violent crime in recent days. Families are hurting. I hear it, I see it, and we're taking it seriously. Law enforcement is a team sport, and I want to say how much I appreciate over the last few months of my administration, how much Capitol Police and the Sheriff's Department have worked with JPD to try to help keep our citizens safe. I also want to say how much we appreciate the Highway Patrol, the FBI, as well as the folks with JPS. Everybody is trying to do their job to help keep this place safe and keep a lid on things. I want to thank Chief Bradley in terms of the recent triple murder, the triple homicides. I want to thank Chief Bradley and the JPD team for the swift work that they put in to take some dangerous assailants off the streets and bringing suspects into custody. But we can't do that without the help of Capitol Police. We can't do it without the help of the Sheriff's Department. They are essential to JPD's law enforcement efforts. And we're going to be sitting down with them to see how we can work even more closely together than we already are. Our federal partners are essential to our help. The Highway Patrol is essential to our help. We've got to get after this problem with a team effort. Let me be clear. We don't accept this as a normal way of life in Jackson, Mississippi.
Morning, Malika. Happy Friday.
And we're taking every steps we know how to address it. Our officers are out in the community. They're responding to calls, they're building cases, and they're bringing people to justice. And we're working as one, as partners at every level to share information and put resources where they're needed most. But we cannot do this by ourselves. We're going to need the community. And as we head into this holiday, I'm asking everyone in Jackson to help us. If you're hosting an event, a gathering, set the tone for that gathering. Keep it peaceful. If you're noticing that tensions are rising, stop it early. Talk to people. Encourage folks to walk away from trouble instead of walking towards it. If you see something that concerns you, don't wait until it's too late. We need our parents, grandparents, neighbors, mentors, coaches, OGs, community, and church partners to really stay close to our young people this weekend. Know where they are, know who they're with, have those tough conversations, and let them know that their lives matter and that one bad decision can change everything. Now, my administration under Chief Brackney and along with Sheriff Jones, working closely with our state partners, we're united in trying to get this work done. You see that unity today, and you'll see it in the future. Next week, I'll be convening a roundtable of public safety experts and community leaders as we continue to expand and strengthen our plan to keep Jackson safe. This is our city, and we're going to protect it. We're going to stand up for one another and do everything we can to make Jackson a safe place to live, work, and celebrate. I'm grateful here that law enforcement has shown up this afternoon to offer their services, especially during this time of tension, and the tension is high and the work is hard. I'm also grateful to the people of Jackson who keep showing up, who care about their neighborhoods, and who refuse to give up on our city. We won't let these senseless acts define who the city is or where we're going. Jackson is still worth fighting for, and we're going to keep fighting. And we're going to put 4 steps when we have this convening next week. We're going to focus on 4 things. The first is that we're currently rolling out a quick response team. And this response team is going to work through this weekend, through the holiday, but it's not going to stop there. It's going to continue through most of the heart of this summer. And it is going to focus on violence-prone areas that are in the city. And we're going to have data and the use of data to help us focus our policing. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to declare this as a public health issue. The impact of violence on families and children who live with this threat of violence daily impacts our health. It impacts the victims. It impacts the perpetrators. It impacts the community. And our particular focus is to be on mental health, especially on grief counseling, conflict resolution, and post-traumatic stress disorder. We're also going to put the focus on community engagement around the promotion of community standards for this community responsibility, and the importance of family values in Jackson. We're going to work with organizations that are already embedded in our community, that are already working in these areas, but they may be underfunded. They may be under-resourced. And we're going to try to work with them to create better alternatives for our youth that don't involve crime or violence. And finally, the 4th thing is that we're going to appeal to state and federal government, our state and federal governments for resources. Jackson is cash strapped. We're under-resourced ourselves as a city. We don't have the money to put towards these efforts. And we know that money alone is not going to solve all of these problems, but money certainly will help to get us some additional resources around crime prevention, around youth engagement, around workforce training, and community revitalization. So those 4 areas: community engagement, public health, declaring this as a public health issue, implementing community engagement, and also rolling out our quick response team.
Our next clip.
Take a look at these 2 liver scans. They're both mine, 12 weeks apart.
Wait a minute. What the hell? I must be under the wrong account. Hold on, y'all. I don't do commercials. Hold on. Give me a second. Y'all come on in. Make sure you double tap the screen and thank you. What in the hell? Let me see. It can't be because I'm under my playlist. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm bringing it back up. Bringing it back up. Mm-hmm. All right, this next clip is the chief of police talking about a new quick response team that they put together, I guess, for the rise in violence in Jackson, Mississippi. Let's get into it.
As a response to this and the recent spate of violence that we've had, I've created, as a response to this and the recent spate of violence that we've had, I've created a quick response team unit. The quick response team unit we put into effect yesterday is the first part of it, as part of the city of Jackson's 4th of July celebration, and to pilot that. Part of that teams, well, we will have teams operating 24 hours a day, starting yesterday through 0800 hours Sunday morning, July 5th. Part of the quick response team will be our narcotics teams, our task force officers, our intelligence officers, our motorcycle and traffic division, as well as our uniformed officers that will be working in teams throughout the entire city to include the CCID area. And so that we can address whatever violence may be going on throughout the entire city. Those teams will be a supplement to the officers that are answering the 911 calls out in the districts as well. We are also adding on additional EOC support dispatch officers who can actually support these operations so that we can do them and not risk additional resource drains on our dispatchers. I've been in contact with our fire marshals as well as our fire department, because as this is a 4th of July weekend, the likelihood that we'll have fireworks, which are legal in the city to use, they're not to purchase. But we also know that where there is fireworks, that you can also experience gunshots, gunfire. And that will be part of our addressing those as well. These quick response teams will be operating for the next 5 weeks into early August, as we set the tone and tenor for what and how we respond to violent crime in the city of Jackson. We are here to support the community work that they're doing. We are calling on our community partners, those who do violence interruption and disruption in the community, our credible messengers, to please get the message out in advance. We will be there. We will be present. We are there for support. We are prayerful that this weekend and the next, that we can have an impact. But at the exact same time, we are ready and prepared to respond to any violence that is occurring in the city, and that it will not be tolerated under our leadership and under this administration.
This is our city, and we're going to protect it. We're going to stand.
So this next clip is Jackson leaders address violent crimes. All this is in Jackson, Mississippi, y'all. They are doing this in response to what happened to those 3 people that were unalived, the 2 women and the baby. So now that's what I want to know too. Let's see, just logged in. Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi. We're covering the triple. Thank you, Ms. B. The triple homicide in Mississippi, and eventually we'll get to the clip where they talk about arresting the 4th suspect in that case. Okay.
Stand up one another and do everything we can to make Jackson a safe place to live, work, and celebrate.
Working to end the spike in violent crimes, Jackson leaders coming together to tackle the ongoing issue and lower the number of fatal shootings. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Troy Johnson.
And I'm Megan West. In the past 3 weeks, 16 WAPT has reported 7 deaths in 4 separate homicide investigations. As we head into the July 4th weekend, instead of communities focusing on celebrating and on joy, some are demanding answers and asking for more safety. Police made a 4th arrest in the deaths of 2 women and a 2-year-old. We just learned his identity, Devon Montecure. The police chief says he was arrested in Texas by U.S. Marshals and charged with capital murder.
Just slow it down. They talk kind of fast, but listen. The gist of it is this. They arrested the 4th suspect. He was in Texas, y'all. He had ran. He had made it all the way to Texas, and they wouldn't have got him. Well, they went and arrested him in Texas. I think at this point he's still in Texas, but he's going to be extradited. Not here.
Weekend, instead of communities focusing on celebrating and on joy, some are demanding answers and asking for more safety. Police made a fourth arrest in the deaths of 2 women and a 2-year-old. We just learned his identity, Devon Montecure. The police chief says he was arrested in Texas by U.S. Marshals and charged with capital murder. He joins Cornelius Carter, Jordan Carter, and Michaela Young, who were all also charged with capital murder. Saturday's shootings killed Erica Weathersby, her sister Kiana Weathersby, and Kiana's 2-year-old.
Somebody explained to me how 4 people, at this point 4, because every day it seems like they're arresting somebody. We don't know exactly how many people was involved in this shooting, but honestly, 4 people at this point went into that one house with 2 women and a baby, a toddler. What in the hell? What in the hell is going on? Like, what was the motive for this killing? I can't wait for them to finally. No, what's your name? Is that Soulful? So. I'm sorry. I know I botched your name. I'm gonna call you Soul. They're not saying what the motive is. But 4 people went into that one house with 2 young women and a baby. Now, what in the hell was this? What was this related to? I wish they would come out with a motive too, but so far they haven't.
Givens. The chief talked about the 4th arrest during a news conference coordinated by the mayor.
To be honest, I think maybe, just maybe, all 4 weren't necessarily there at the house. You know, you don't have to be at a crime to be involved in that crime at this point. So I'm not going to even say that all 4 of them went into the house. I'm not going to say that. But we know 4 was involved. I don't know who actually went into the house. Ain't nobody even talk. See, this is what I'm not going to do today. Let me keep it pushing.
Also charged with capital murder. Saturday's shootings killed Erica Weathersby, her sister Kiana Weathersby, and Kiana's 2-year-old, Kamari Givens. The chief talked about the 4th arrest during a news conference coordinated by the mayor's office. Mayor John Horn stood with members of law enforcement as they addressed the violent crimes that have plagued the city over the last week.
We have team coverage tonight. Both 16 WAPT's Ross Adams and Nicholas Brooks were in the room as city leaders outlined their plan to cut down on crime. First, we go to Ross with what the mayor said about
going back into the whole crime thing. I'm going to skip that and get to this.
Jackson police say a 4th suspect has now been arrested in connection to the triple homicide on Queen Alexandria Lane.
Police Chief Dr. Rachel Brackney says the suspect was taken into custody in Texas and will be extradited back to the capital city of Jackson to face capital murder charges. Cornelius Carter, Jordan Carter, and Michaela Young have been arrested and charged with capital murder, and all 3 were denied bond. Investigators say the June 27th shooting left 3 people dead inside a home identified as 25-year-old Kiana Weathersby, her 2-year-old son Kamari Givens, and Kiana's sister 30-year-old Erica Weathersby. Police say tips from the public helped lead detectives to the suspects.
We made a 4th arrest in this case of the triple homicide. We will be releasing those details. He was arrested in Texas, and we will then have to go through the extradition process in order to bring him back to Jackson for justice. We will say this to you, and I will start with, this is a resilient community. This is a community, Jackson, who has experienced levels of violence, and in this case, a horrific level of violence that has not been experienced in this city prior. But what I've learned over the last week and weekend, that this is a city and a community that cares. It cares deeply about quality of life, but it also cares deeply about life. And so all of the tips that came in, all of the community members that responded, we could not have solved this as quickly without them.
According to West Haven Memorial Funeral Home, the homecoming celebration will be held for Erica Weathersby, Kiana Weathersby, and Kamari Givens on July 11th, 2026. The service will be held at 11 a.m. at the West Haven Funeral Home Chapel in Hazelhurst.
We are following breaking news.
Okay,
A 4th suspect has been arrested in connection to Jackson's triple homicide on Queen Alexandria Lane, where 2 women and a 2-year-old were killed. The suspect is identified as Devon Montecure. Investigators say he was taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals in Forney, Texas, and will be extradited back to Jackson to face a capital murder charge. 3 other suspects, Cornelius Carter, Jordan Carter, and Michaela Young, have already been arrested and all charged with capital murder. Investigators believe the shooting was targeted targeted, and this case remains ongoing. The 3 people killed in that shooting are 25-year-old Kiana Weathersby, 30-year-old Erica Weathersby, and 2-year-old Kamari Gibbons. Services will be held July 11th at West Haven Memorial in Hazelhurst. Afterward, family, friends, and community members will gather for a balloon release. The public is invited to join the family in celebrating these 3 lives.
And even more. So y'all, that's it on that. I just wanted to update y'all on the 4th suspect. Have they said if any of the men was the babies? No, they're not saying anything. They're not saying anything about the motive, about none of that. Who was actually in the house? They're not saying anything about nothing. I'm checking daily to see if they. You know what? I'm thinking they may do a news conference. I don't know if they decide to release the information. All right, y'all, we're going to move on to the second story we're going to cover today. I know you all probably have heard because it's all over the web. The lady that unalived the man in the Walmart parking lot in, I want to say Fort Lauderdale. Is it Fort Lauderdale? Florida? Hold on. They're going to say it in this clip, but let me see. North Lauderdale, Florida. The lady was approached by a man. She felt threatened and she shot him in Walmart parking lot. Listen, Walmart has a bad rep for drama. I'm just saying. Anywho, we're going to listen to the clip. This is a breaking story, y'all. I'm going to continue to follow it, but I'm going to play what I have so far on it, okay?
Breaking news right now, police say a person was shot at a Walmart parking lot in North Lauderdale. Local 10's Rush Lowe is live at the scene with the latest details. Rush.
Okay, the call came.
Y'all, these clips I gathered since it happened, like when it first happened, and they go in chronological order. This first clip is talking about the fact that he had been shot and taken to the hospital. They did not know at this particular time that he was unalive. That's going to come in the other clips to follow, okay? Y'all make sure y'all double tapping that screen to like the live stream. If you're not subscribed and you like the content, please subscribe to the channel and feel free to support the channel. Cash App is strolling at the top of the screen.
Around 12:28 p.m., 7900 block of West McNabb Road. I'll step out of the way before we get to our aerials, and you can still see this is an active scene here. The Broward Sheriff's Office continues to remain on scene, investigating what they call the circumstances surrounding the shooting. Now let's get to Sky 10, a look from above at this scene. You can only imagine what was going through people's minds as they're shopping at Walmart one second, and the next, a man, say the Broward Sheriff's Office, is shot in the stomach. Now, according to BSO, the victim in this case was transported to an area hospital with, at the time, life-threatening injuries. We also saw from above witnesses describing to the Broward Sheriff's Office what they said they saw out here. We spoke to someone, and you'll hear from him at 4 o'clock. He says that the woman in this case appears to feel like she was threatened. She takes out a gun and apparently shoots this person in the stomach. We have some aerials as well of a woman in handcuffs. Now, this is very important to note at this hour. There have been no charges in this case at this point. At this point, all we can tell you is what we saw from above, and that was a woman placed in handcuffs and the Broward Sheriff's Office speaking with that individual. What is very important at this point is for deputies to figure out what were the circumstances. We'll bring it back out here live to the ground at 4 o'clock. You'll hear from a witness in this case. And speaking about the circumstances, we did speak to some people off camera. They say perhaps this was a dispute over a parking spot, of all things. That has not been confirmed. What we do know is that a man has been shot in the stomach, taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Broward Sheriff's Office are speaking to a woman at this point. No charges yet. We're live in North Lauderdale. I'm Ross Lowe, Local 10 News.
More breaking news now. A man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a shooting in a Walmart parking lot. CBS News Miami's Nakia Kerr is your reporter live in North Lauderdale tonight. And that's where those shots were fired in the middle of the day, Nakia.
That's right, Jim. BSO says that man was found here in this Walmart parking lot off McNabb Road with a gunshot wound. One man we spoke to says he was shocked to drive up and see his Walmart parking lot covered with caution tape.
I was walking up, I heard a lady screaming. You know, she was screaming and she was saying a lot of things.
BSO says a 911 call came in for a shooting in the Walmart parking
lot around 12:28 p.m. When deputies arrived on scene, they found a man with a gunshot wound. Chopper 4 captured deputies walking with a woman whose hands were handcuffed behind her back. Deputies say one person was detained, but did not confirm if it was a woman in the video. A customer who arrived after the shooting told us what he heard from an employee inside of the store.
He told me, oh, there was this gentleman approached her and he kept making advances at her. And she kept saying, look, I'm not interested. Back up, look, I'm not interested. And I guess she got scared. And he said that when she got scared, she took out a gun and she shot him.
Has not identified the person detained or the man shot. We do know that North Lauderdale Fire Rescue transported that man to the hospital with a life-threatening injury. Reporting live in North Lauderdale, Nakaya Carrero, CBS News, Miami.
New at 5, we are learning new details about a deadly shooting that broke out at a Walmart in North Lauderdale. The Broward Sheriff's Office says the woman who fatally shot the man at the store's parking lot is claiming self-defense. Tonight, the man's family is speaking out. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch is your reporter in North Lauderdale with what the man's sister had to say.
I spoke off camera with a sister of the man who was shot. She told me she's upset. But she said her brother was a Christian man and was a decorated military veteran who had served in Desert Storm in the Army National Guard. The Broward Sheriff's Office has identified the man who was shot as 62-year-old Bart DeGuglielmo of Lauderhill. His sister, who shared this photo of him with us, told me he was a very good person who would not hurt anyone. She said he had worked as a nurse for 30 years. We discovered he lived in a community for seniors from 3 miles away from where the incident happened. PSO says he was shot in a dispute over a parking space outside the Walmart store at 7900 West McNabb Road just before 12:30 on Tuesday afternoon. DeGuglielmo was transported to Broward Health Medical Center where he later died. From Chopper 4, we saw a woman in custody in handcuffs. PSO could not confirm that this was a woman who fired her weapon, but PSO says the woman involved remained on the scene and cooperated, and she said she fired in self-defense. Those are the only details being released so far. The woman has not been identified. Meanwhile, BSO says this case is being presented to the Broward State Attorney's Office to see if any charges will be filed. In North Lauderdale, Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
What started as a dispute over a parking spot ended with gunfire, a man dead, and a confrontation caught on camera. And investigators are now sorting through the disturbing new evidence.
Yeah, NBC6's Steve Litz has a chilling video and explains why the shooter says that she acted in self-defense.
A witness captured the shooting on a cell phone. And videos from cameras on a nearby Tesla show the crime as it happened. A man and a woman are arguing. The man is seen walking toward the woman, follows her around a vehicle. A few moments later, investigators say she shot him. A relative sent us this picture of Bart DeGuglielmo. He died from his injuries. It happened yesterday in the middle of the day in the Walmart Supercenter parking lot on McNabb Road near Rock Island Road in North Lauderdale.
When I came, there was police officers everywhere, and I did hear a woman screaming and crying, and she was saying something, but I couldn't, but it was incoherent to me what she was saying.
Deputies confirmed the woman and DeGuglielmo exchanged words over a parking spot and then the shooting. She waited for police to arrive, then told them she shot in self-defense. Tonight, she's not in jail. Prosecutors will decide if she should face criminal charges or not.
The name of that woman has not been released, but that video seems to show her placing.
So, man, you think the only way that man could have harmed her was with a gun? So I'm just asking. You say if he didn't have a gun, she should get life. So do you think the only way that he could have harmed her is with a gun?
The gun on a car and then waiting for police to arrive. It also seems to show her taunting the man while he's on the ground. More on this one as our coverage continues at 6. Reporting from North Lauderdale, I'm Steve Litz, NBC6 News.
Very disturbing.
With an exclusive, we are hearing from the daughter of a 62-year-old man who died after a confrontation in North Lauderdale in a Walmart parking lot. New video of the incident is shedding light on what happened before the shooting.
And this as the woman accused in the case says that she acted in self-defense. Local 10 crime specialist Bridget Matter live now in North Lauderdale with more on this today. Bridget.
Just so senseless. We're told that this fight may have been over a parking spot in this Walmart parking lot. And we do want to warn some of our viewers.
Okay, so that's crazy. That's crazy that you think somebody can't hurt somebody unless they have a gun. That's weird. But that's your opinion, okay?
This video might be disturbing to watch.
A deadly confrontation in a North Lauderdale Walmart parking lot off McNabb Road. Investigators with the Broward Sheriff's Office say Monday a woman and 62-year-old Bart DiGuglielmo were arguing over a parking spot when the woman pulled out a gun. Video provided by witnesses show the 62-year-old fall to the ground bleeding from his stomach area. The father of 3 would eventually die from his injuries.
I just don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot.
His daughter Amanda speaking to us on Zoom this afternoon. She says her father was a veteran and former ER trauma nurse. The two had recently reconnected.
He was a good man.
According to investigators, the woman claims she shot in self-defense.
It don't matter how he was walking. It don't matter how he was walking, man. He was approaching that lady. Are you watching the video? Or you just, he was approaching her. I ain't gonna argue self-defense with you people. I'm not doing that today. I refuse. I done did enough with the Carmelo situation. I'm not arguing self-defense. Everybody ain't thinking about no laws, and everybody don't know the law when it comes to protecting yourself. If somebody feels in danger, somebody feel like their life is, like if they're gonna be harmed or hurt or injured or killed. I mean, I don't know why it's so hard to understand why do you walk up on people? Why are you walking up on people? He clearly walked up to this woman and kept coming, even after she had the gun in her hand. Like, what the hell?
The video shows Bart and the woman going back and forth for some time as a woman is pointing a gun and on the phone. Police eventually arrive. You can see the woman
bagging up with the gun in her hand and the phone. The gun and the phone, a gun in one hand, phone, and he's still coming towards her. For what though? Why?
According to investigators, the woman claims she shot in self-defense. The video shows Bart and the woman going back and forth for some time as a woman is pointing a gun and
look at that. Look at that. Why would you do? And you not finna point no gun at me, and I'm gonna keep walking towards you. I'm not doing that. That is stupid. That is stupid. I don't care that he never touched her. She didn't give him a chance. People got to leave people alone. What the hell? See, it's a such thing in this nation, in this world, in my city, in my state, where people feel entitled. They feel entitled. They feel entitled to invade your personal space. You can't go around invading people. Now, I'm not saying that these people are completely innocent. I'm not saying they're going to get off. They go for that woman. They go for Carmelo and anybody else. But it's okay for a motherfucker to shoot a kid running away. But if somebody just straight up come towards you, come up on you, you can't defend yourself. Get the fuck out of here. You motherfuckers gonna be shot every time. Cause fucking with me, I'm doing the same thing. You come up on me, you keep coming, you invade my space. I ask you to leave me alone. You keep coming. It's over. Like you can't feel entitled to invade somebody's space and think they're not gonna do something to protect themselves. Ain't nobody trying to give you a chance. A lot of people is not going to give you a chance to get up on them. You talking about getting up on her, touching her. She ain't give them a chance. You're not going to touch me. You're not going to put your hands on me. You're not going to do none of that. The fuck? Y'all crazy as hell.
On the phone, police eventually arrived. You could see the woman with the gun talking to detectives. Amanda says her father should be alive, and she wants to know what happened.
Clearly was backing up with the gun. Didn't want to shoot the man, apparently. What crazy motherfucker keep walking up on somebody up in somebody's face with a gun? Are you okay? Like really? All right, then.
Different things like on news sites, like it was over. I heard one news site say it was over a parking spot. Another person said it was because my dad was making some type of advance towards the woman, which I will completely debunk because my dad.
You can't debunk that. The video says otherwise. You can debunk it out your mouth, young lady. And listen. Prayers for this young lady, prayers for the family, may God rest his soul. But you can't debunk what's on that video. That video shows him clearly walking towards her, clearly. And she was on the phone. I don't know if she was on the phone with cops. I don't know if she was on the phone with somebody because she felt scared or whatever. She was on the phone. She had the phone in one hand. He was a vet. He may have tried to vet my ass. He wasn't the police. And how's a person that is the woman is afraid of going to man, I'm not gonna argue with you today. I'm gonna ignore everything you write in the chat because I think you're trying to trigger me, but it's not gonna happen today. I'm in a good mood and I'm gonna stay that way. And I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you do it. Anywho, like I said, you can't debunk what's in the video. You said you don't believe your daddy was approaching that woman, and she was. It's in the video. I'm not finna sit here and argue with what's in the damn video. You clearly see it.
Pointing a gun and on the phone. Police eventually arrived. You could see the woman with the gun talking to detectives. Amanda says her father should be alive, and she wants to know what happened.
I'm hearing different things like on news sites, like it was over. I heard one news site say it was over a parking spot. Another person said it was because my dad was making some type of advance towards the woman, which I will completely debunk because my dad is not.
You can't do that, baby.
That person. He's not perfect, but he's definitely not somebody that's going to do something to that extreme.
I'm defending whatever your name is. I'm defending don't walk the fuck up on me. That's what I'm defending. Yeah, that's what I'm defending. I'm defending as I'm saying as a woman, ain't no man finna walk up on me and keep walking up on me even after I pull my gun. Cause I'm pulling my gun to say, look, motherfucker, back up. But you keep on coming. You gonna catch it. You gonna catch it. I'm defending. Don't walk up on me. Don't walk up on me. The fuck?
Shooting remains under investigation. That woman was not arrested. No charges have been filed, and the case will be passed over to the state attorney's office for review. We're live in North Lauderdale. Bridget Matter, Local 10 News.
A deadly confrontation in a Florida Walmart parking lot caught on camera. The Broward County Sheriff's Office says it all began with an argument over a parking space. This dash camera recording the moments leading up to the shooting. A man can be seen approaching a woman who appears to have a gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other. You can
that
see
woman
her
bagging up and everything. He gonna run his. Well, Lord, I'm not gonna talk about the man like that because he gone. Lord Jesus, this man ran up on this woman, ran up on her. She backing up. She is clearly backing up. What the hell else do you need to see?
A deadly confrontation in a Florida Walmart parking lot caught on camera. The Broward County Sheriff's Office says it all began with an argument over a parking space. This dash camera recording the moments leading up to the shooting. A man can be seen approaching a woman who appears to have a gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other. You can see her back away as the man walks toward her and follows her around a vehicle. She keeps her arm extended.
Follows her around the vehicle. I'm not making it about race. I wouldn't give a fuck what color neither one of them was. She's a woman. He's a man. He approached her. Continued to. I'm not going to make this about race over here. Not this case because it ain't about that. Not for me. I wouldn't give a fuck what color they were. Like I said, I'm defending. Don't walk the fuck up on me. This woman, you know what? For all of y'all that think that shit was okay that he did, try it on somebody and see what happened. Ain't nobody, people not playing today. People not playing these days because people are crazy. If you crazy enough to run up on me and continue to run up on me and I got a whole gun in my hand, ain't no telling what the fuck you gonna try to do. You got to be stopped. I don't give a damn. I deal with the courts and the judges and the lawyers and all that later, but I know one thing, I'll be alive. I'll be alive. The fuck? Shit. Watch this, y'all. Watch.
A deadly confrontation in a Florida Walmart parking lot caught on camera. The Broward County Sheriff's Office says it all began with an argument over a parking space. This dash camera recording the moments leading up to the shooting. A man can be seen approaching a woman who appears to have a gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other. You can see her back away as the man walks toward her and follows her around a vehicle. She keeps her arm extended with what seems to be a weapon. A second angle of the incident appears to show the woman telling him to walk away before firing.
Follows her around the vehicle. You follows her around the vehicle. Okay.
A single shot. The man falls to the ground, bleeding near his stomach. The woman then sets the gun on the roof of the car and paces around him. A deputy arrives minutes later. The woman gestures to the weapon before he puts her hands behind her back.
There was police officers everywhere, and I did hear a woman screaming and crying.
The shooting happened midday on Tuesday. Authorities have not named the woman, who they say told investigators she fired in self-defense. They identified the man as 62-year-old Bart DiGuglielmo. He was taken to the hospital with a single gunshot wound, they add, where he later died. The sheriff's office says once its investigation is complete, prosecutors will decide whether to file criminal charges in this deadly parking lot dispute. Aaron Gilchrist, NBC News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
We're going to start this with the video. The victim with the gray shirt, the woman with the gun. There is a standoff, and then the shooting.
He was a retired U.S. Army Staff Sergeant. He was also a decorated Desert Storm veteran. Investigators say the argument started over a parking spot. I just can't get over that, man. A parking spot.
Say this, and please don't take this as me talking ill on the dead, because I'm not. That man, you know, honestly, whenever somebody gets shot or somebody get killed, I don't think anybody deserves to die that way. I don't. There are circumstances where people feel like they need to do it to save their own lives. I get it. But let me just say this. They want to say, okay, and this is not me talking ill on the dead. I don't know this man. I'm just going by facts, and I'm going by my knowledge of certain things, right? Did anybody even stop to think that by them saying he was a vet? Okay, he was a vet. He served in Desert Storm. He whatever military background he has. Maybe this man, listen, let me tell you something, what I know about vets. A lot of vets have issues, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. They go and serve our country. I don't have enough minds in him, but I'll let this shit ride today because I'm trying to get through the content. I don't even think I got minds in him at this point, but that's okay. Oh, Miss Lynn is here. Miss Lynn, do the best you can, sweetheart. That's all I can ask. And if you miss something and something get by, just let it ride. In fact, don't even worry about it. Just let it ride. I don't know where my minds are. It is what it is. So, did anybody think about the fact that this man could have been, I thank you, Miss Lynn. This man could have been, you know, I want to say it like with taste, maybe not so much in his right mind at the time. Like, you got to listen, something got to be seriously wrong with you to keep walking up to somebody that got a gun pointed at you. Something has to be seriously wrong. Something has to be seriously wrong if you keep approaching a woman that has pulled a gun on you and is backing up trying to get away, and you follow her around the car. Something has to be wrong. So maybe all this military background he got, this VA, status he holds is the reason why he felt like he can continue to walk up on that lady. I don't know. I'm sure it'll come out. I'm sure. But you got to admit something ain't right. Something is not right. I gotta fast forward because they got two stories going on here. Hold on a minute, y'all. All right, y'all. I apologize. I'm back. So this is the one where it's covering two stories. So I got to fast forward a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this.
Of Bart DiGuglielmo. He is said to be an Army veteran. Both parties ran into each other at the parking lot of a Walmart store. They got into it for certain reasons, and it did not end well for Bart. He can be seen walking towards her after she picked up her gun in her car. She would later fire into him, then calling the cops. Some people think she could have walked away, while some people believe she was well into her right. Here is the video of how things started and ended.
Oh shit! Oh.
Let's watch that again, y'all. Hold on. Let's watch that again.
The next video is that of a woman who happened to get into it with a man by the name of Bart DiGuglielmo. He is said to be an Army veteran. Both parties ran into each other at the parking lot of a Walmart store. They got into it for certain reasons and it did not end well for Bart. He can be seen walking towards her after she picked up her gun in her car. She would later fire into him, then calling the cops. Some people think she could have.
You know what, BG? I was gonna let you live, but the fact that you keep repeating the same shit over and over again, you gotta go. You irritate my soul. Bye. Go repeat that in somebody else's chat. How many times you gotta say it? Are you slow? Damn.
Walked away while some people believe she was well into her right. Here is the video of how things started and ended.
Oh shit. Oh. Oh shit.
What started as a dispute over a parking spot ended with gunfire, a man dead, and a confrontation caught on camera. And investigators are now sorting through the disturbing new evidence.
Yeah, ABC6's Steve Litz has a chilling video and explains why the shooter says that she acted in self-defense.
A witness captured the shooting on a cell phone. And videos from cameras on a nearby Tesla show the crime as it happened. A man and a woman are arguing. The man is seen walking toward the woman, follows her around a vehicle. A few moments later, investigators say she shot him. A relative sent us this picture of Bart DiGuglielmo. He died from his injuries. It happened yesterday in the middle of the day in the Walmart Supercenter parking lot on McNabb Road near Rock Island Road in North Lauderdale.
When I came, there was police officers everywhere, and I did hear a woman screaming and crying, and she was saying something, but I couldn't, but it was incoherent to me what she was saying.
Deputies confirm the woman and DiGuglielmo exchanged words over a parking spot and then the shooting. She waited for police to arrive, then told them she shot in self-defense. Tonight, she's not in jail. Prosecutors will decide if she should face criminal charges or not.
I just don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot.
His daughter Amanda speaking to us on Zoom this afternoon. She says her father was a veteran and former ER trauma nurse. The two had recently reconnected.
He was a good man.
According to investigators, the woman claims she shot in self-defense. The video shows Bart and the woman going back and forth for some time as the woman is pointing a gun and on the phone. Police eventually arrive. You can see the woman with the gun talking to detectives. Amanda says her father should be alive and she wants to know what happened.
I'm hearing different things like on news sites like it was over. I heard one news site say it was over a parking spot. Another person said it was because my dad was making some type of advance towards the woman, which I will completely debunk because my dad is not that person. He's not perfect, but he's definitely not somebody that's going to do something to that extreme.
This shooting remains under investigation. That woman was not arrested. No charges have been filed, and the case will be passed over to the state attorney's office for review.
DiGuglielmo was transported to Broward Health Medical Center, where he later died. From Chopper 4, we saw a woman in custody in handcuffs. BSO could not confirm that this was a woman who fired her weapon, but BSO says the woman involved remained on the scene and cooperated, and she said she fired in self-defense. Those are the only details being released so far. The woman has not been identified. Meanwhile, BSO says this case is being presented to the Broward State Attorney's Office to see if any charges will be filed.
At the end of the day, all this could have been resolved with more patience. What do you guys think of?
Okay, that's the end of that one, y'all. That's the end of that one. I think that's the end of the clips I have on that. I will keep y'all updated on whether or not this woman is charged or, yeah, stand your ground would be in play. Florida is stand your ground, you know, but what I've come to realize that stand your ground only applies to certain people. That's all I'm gonna say. Whenever somebody else, you know, how to stand your ground, it's an issue. I know one thing, you know, I don't know what was being said, what they were arguing about, whether it was a parking space a parking, whatever. I don't know, but I do know that woman, she pulled the gun on that man. She pulled the gun. Hold on. She pulled the gun and she tried to back away from that guy. He kept walking towards her. That's a no-no. You don't do that. A man against a woman. I don't give a fuck if he didn't have a gun. I don't care. You're not gonna keep walking up on me like that. Anywho, I will keep y'all updated. I will keep y'all updated on what happens. All right, so the next story is about a precious missing 4-year-old. This 4-year-old lives in, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm just gonna play the clip. But she's missing. I think she's been missing for a couple of days now. Let's get into it. And I got a feeling there's something fishy about this story, but we're gonna listen.
We are following a developing breaking news scene, which is over in Aiken County. That's where deputies there say that they are searching for a missing 4-year-old little girl. That's a photo of her right there on your screen. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office says there is right now a very large law enforcement presence in the area of Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road. This is deputies are searching for that missing child. She is 4 years old. Last seen wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, Crocs, and pink braided hair. Anyone who sees this little girl right there on your screen or has any information about where she is, they are urged to immediately call 911.
Everybody, I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. We do thank you for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with the search for a missing 4-year-old girl continuing this afternoon in Aiken County. Deputies first started searching Tuesday night near Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road for Javia Harris.
Yeah, she was last seen wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, Crocs. She has pink braids. We need to find her. Jartavius Edmond live in Aiken County now with an update for us. Jartavius.
Yeah, Brad, this search has grown significantly since it started last night. And with so many agencies now involved, people who live here in the area say it's been difficult to watch. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office says Javia Harris may be nonverbal and autistic, adding even more urgency to this search. By this morning, the FBI, SLED, South Carolina Highway Patrol, and other agencies were all on scene. 2 drones were also deployed to help the search. And then you probably can hear in my ear right now, there's a helicopter who has been pretty much flying around the area looking for the young child. Also, neighbors in the area say they wait for answers has been difficult.
Really frightening, and it's a sad situation because like I have my granddaughter here, she's frightened, she's ready to go home. We've been praying for the family. We pray that they find the baby safely. And I don't know. It's a scary situation.
The sheriff's office is asking the public to stay away from the search area for now and saying if they need volunteers, they will let the community know. Jenny, Brad, back to you.
Breaking news first at 4. The search is intensifying for a missing 4-year-old girl in Aiken County. You're looking at 4-year-old Javia Harris, missing now for nearly 20 hours. Your Brett Buffington is standing by where multiple agencies, including SLED and the FBI, are on the ground right now working to find her. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office says Javia was last seen on Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road just before 9 o'clock last night. You're taking a look at that area right now. Investigators say she was wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, Crocs, and has pink braids. News 12 was the first on the scene last night when the Sheriff's Office first reported Javia missing. We saw 4-wheelers, multiple law enforcement agencies, and a K-9 unit out searching the area. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are still unknown at this time, but as we work to learn more information, your Brett Buffington joining us live from the command center at the heart of the search efforts. Brett, what have you seen so far out there?
Zeta, let's just start with something that has to be in the back of the mind of every searcher out here, in the back of this little girl's parents, in the back of everyone who is thinking about that search, and that is the weather. Our First Alert weather team has been talking about this for the last several days, the humidity, the heat. I can tell you standing here, I am sweating. It is hot. This little girl last seen almost 20 hours ago now at 8:30 last night. And reasonably, you would think if you were a searcher, and this is a search for a missing 4-year-old, that is the last time she had something to drink. This search this afternoon here, as you can see behind me, it is active. You can see the command centers, that big blue, and that one is from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. They are in the air as well. As you can hear, the helicopter above our head this afternoon, searching now in the woods and in these neighborhoods. This area, it is locked down. You have to go through security checkpoints. But
you know what, Breezy, I think that's your name, Breezy. The fact that people are saying this woman shot this man over a parking space is idiotic. It's just stupid as fuck. Even if the argument started over a parking space, I'm sure that woman didn't shoot that man just to stay in a damn parking space. Or hey, Lanier, or to get in a parking space. That's just asinine. But you know, the news and other, slow coats are just run with that story of her shooting him. Clearly, she didn't shoot him because of a parking space. Now, did the argument start over a parking space? I don't know, maybe. But she didn't shoot him because of a parking space. She shot him because he kept approaching her after she pulled her gun and probably told him to leave her the fuck alone. God rest his soul. Prayers up to the family.
He's searching, asking for IDs to get anywhere around here, and especially to leave. Let's show you this video of this scene, this search this afternoon. It is expansive and it is extensive for Zavea Harris. She was last seen again 8:30 last night. A 911 call some 13 minutes after that, reporting this little girl missing here in this neighborhood, believed to have wandered away. Since then, searchers have done what they call a grid search, going door to door, searching backyards of homes, searching under houses. In the middle of the night last night, knocking on doors, waking people up to try and find this little girl. Throughout the day today, this search, it has become much, much more large scale. Bloodhounds on the trail last night. Today, the FBI has now joined this search. I did speak with a special agent in charge of communicating with the media for the South Carolina office of tell me this evidence response team is not involved in this search, but certainly they have agents here that are on the ground, and now they begin the process along with state agents from SLED in questioning if this search is more than just a little girl who wandered off. Obviously, that part of this investigation we've learned from law enforcement sources is also ongoing this afternoon. As you can see, a very active search here behind me for this 4-year-old Zavea Harris, last seen 8:30 last night in this heat, Zaina. Now out here as searchers are frantic trying to find her.
And Brett, we mentioned at the top of the show, this is something we've been following since yesterday when little Javea went missing. You were following that last night. You spoke to officials. What are they telling you that their message is to the community right now as they continue to search for Javea?
Certainly heartbreaking across Aiken County and across everyone who knows about this search. This obviously is being spread across the nation now as this search continues here this afternoon. So many people want to know what they can do to help. And right now, the sheriff's office is telling us that the biggest thing people can do is to share that little girl's picture, whether it's the sheriff's office post, whether it's our post, whether you take the picture and just share it on your own social media channels on your own. They want this little girl's face out there in case she has somehow made it outside of this very lockdown search area here in Aiken County this afternoon. We asked last night about water because of the heat, because of the amount of manpower that is now part of this search, knowing that today was going to be sweltering hot out here with the heat index. The sheriff's office teaming up with fire departments here to use rehab units. They have water here at this scene. But right now, everyone involved in this search, you would say, is trained in looking for clues, for protecting evidence in a search like this. Law enforcement here on the ground from so many different agencies this afternoon. They are asking the public to simply stay away from this area as this is an active search and investigation, Zaina.
Thank you, Brett. We'll check back in with you later on first at 4 as this search for 4-year-old missing Javea continues. We want to show you her photo again. This is the photo Brett is talking about. Please share this photo if you can help get that word out that she is missing. This is Javea Harris. She was last seen on Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road just before 9 o'clock last night. Investigators say she was wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, Crocs, and has pink braids. If you see her, you are urged to contact 911 immediately. You can submit information through a tip line too. We have the number here on your screen. A quick note for those who may be eager to join in on the search efforts that Brett just mentioned. We asked that if you were in need of or you want to help, you can donate any water and any other supplies. They did say no at this time, but if they do need it, they will let us know. So again, just keep your eyes out for her.
This one is focusing on the continuous search efforts for this little girl right here on your screen. She is 4 years old and missing out of Aiken County. Investigators say she was last seen Tuesday night after disappearing from her family. News 19's Kiki Gushu has been in Aiken County all day. She's now live at Search Command Post inside the Bethel Baptist Church. Kiki, break us all down. What do you know so far about this search?
Christy, a multitude of agencies and different first responders have been out here for hours trying to locate. But as of right now, they have not found Javea. Now, the investigators did let us know that Javea likes to chase chickens and may be able to hide in small places. So they're asking the community out here tonight to check their properties for any small places that a child might be able to hide in.
I'm praying that they find that baby safe. I'm praying that they find her safe. And I'm praying that her mom can have peace or her parents can have peace.
Those prayers are being shared across this Aiken County community as the search for 4-year-old Javea Kamani Harris continues. Investigators say Javea disappeared from her family home near Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road Tuesday around 8:15, wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas and Crocs. She has pink braided hair, stands about 3 feet 6 inches tall, and weighs about 40 pounds. While the search has grown throughout the day, investigators have provided few answers about what circumstances led to her disappearance. Local, state, and federal law enforcement, including the FBI and SLED, joined Aiken County authorities in the search, using helicopters, drones, and ground teams to cover the area. Bethel Baptist Church has opened its doors to help keep those search teams going.
Actually, I got a phone call this morning at 1:30 and said, hey, can you come and open up for us so we can have a restroom and, a cool place to hang out and those kind of things, and coffee pot. And so we came and did that for them.
He says he'll be here all night to help.
We were planning on having hot dogs and some things tonight, so we've already bought for that. I've had phone call after phone call and said, hey, can we come in and cook for them? We can use the hot dogs that we were planning on using tonight and cook, hot dogs and chili for them with that.
For neighbors, the massive search has been both unexpected and heartbreaking.
Very strange and scary at the same time. Because like you say, now I hear the helicopters, and this has been like this since last night.
And investigators are asking the community to stay away as they carry out this search plan, emphasizing that if they need additional volunteers or community organizations, they will let you know. Live in Aiken County, Kiki Gashu, News 19, WLTX.
All right, Kiki, thank you so much. Now, if anyone has any information that could lead to finding this little girl, you are urged to call the number right there on your screen. Let's go ahead and pop that up. It is 803-502-5200, and that tip line is now open.
Tonight, it has been more than 24 hours since this 4-year-old little girl was last seen.
39 Hillsborough Street, 39 Hillsborough Street.
The alert
4-year-old pediatric missing.
from a dispatcher in Aiken County just moments after the 911 call.
20, 30 minutes ago, wearing a pink Minnie Mouse pajamas.
Javea Harris believed to have wandered away from her home. What that caller told 911 over the phone is what deputies say this expansive and exhaustive search has been based on. Knocking door to door in neighborhoods through the night. Today, from the air and on the ground, it is a search that continues. There is a growing list of concerns tonight. Among the temperature and humidity little Javea could be lost in. And perhaps the biggest question, at just 4 years old and not even 4 feet tall, how far could she have gotten? Hello, everybody. We begin tonight following that local breaking news alert out of Aiken County, where it has now been more than a day since Javea Harris was reported missing. That was her picture you just saw right now. Sydney Hood standing by. So many people want to know how can they help tonight, and the best way is taking that picture of this little girl and sharing it however you can, whether that is taking it from our social media, from our website, from the Aiken County Sheriff's Office social media, putting it on yours and spreading the news that this little girl is missing tonight, last seen on Hillsborough Street near Ridgecrest Road, wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, Crocs, and she had pink braids when she was last seen. The search on your screen. Where this map is zooming into, north of the city of Aiken, south of I-20, in this neighborhood, that is where law enforcement has converged for the last almost 24 hours. They used bloodhounds, canines. They were in the air with a sled helicopter, with drones, and door to door, including through the night. That is where they knocked to ask, has anyone got any information about where this little girl could be? That tip line there on your screen, 803-502-5200. No tip, we were told today, no detail in this case is too small for you to pass it along. They are needing a break tonight there to find this missing 4-year-old little girl, Javea Harris there. We were first last night to tell you about this story. We were first to be there on the scene. There has been a command center at Bethel Baptist Church in Aiken County, and that is where Sydney Palmer is tonight. She has talked to the pastor of that church. Sydney, I thought it was iconic when you were there with us earlier. I was there with you earlier, I should say, to hear that pastor's story about having a meeting today. A congregation was coming together to celebrate the 4th of July and how that changed. A church that opened its doors, not for its congregation, but for a community of law enforcement on a very specific mission.
That's right, Brett. As you can see behind me, the scene has kind of started to close, but one community member, like you mentioned, Pastor Stan Adams, really stepped up today. He got here around 1:30 this morning. He found out that his church was going to be the command center late last night and didn't really think much of it. He just thought they would be using his restrooms, but he ended up getting here this morning around 1:30 and stayed throughout the entire search today. And they were meant to have a 4th of July celebration as a part of their congregation, but because the parking lot was completely blocked off earlier today, he decided to pivot and instead use those hot dogs and 4th of July decorations that he had to kind of lift up the crew and law enforcement agencies that were searching for 4-year-old Javea Harris today. And even though he was able to provide and lift spirits just a little bit for that brief moment, Javea Harris is still missing. What is typically a place of fun and fellowship has a different feeling this evening as the search for 4-year-old Javea Harris continues.
They called me this morning at 1:30 and come and open the fellowship hall so they could have restrooms and a cool place to get and those kind of things, and of course water and all that. So I've been here since 1:30 this morning.
And over 24 hours later, amid brutal heat, this little girl who's not even 4 feet tall is still missing. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, FBI, and other law enforcement agencies have been working since Tuesday night to locate this little girl. And as the hours tick on, so does the urgency.
And I plan on having just a word of prayer with them real quick, thanking them for their efforts, and asking God to direct and continue through the night, to continue directing, that we'll be able to find this little girl.
And like Brett mentioned, it's been over 24 hours since 4-year-old Javea Harris went missing, and the search has kind of calmed down tonight. They'll be back here in the morning, but Aiken County is asking that communities stay out of this area just so that they can make sure that they're being as effective as this, with the search. But if you know anything about this 4-year-old little girl, Javea Harris, give the tip line a call.
And Cindy, we certainly expected that wind down of the search tonight. Law enforcement told us it was going to happen. It certainly looks dark behind you, but no point have they given up in this search. They told us that they were going to scale down, not anything like we saw 24 hours ago when we were telling you there was a helicopter above with FLIR, an infrared camera, drones in the air. That search has been extensive, exhaustive. They have essentially done what they could there in that neighborhood. And sitting behind you, and I can tell you from being out there with you, they have built a cell phone tower in that parking lot. It's iconic that that pastor said he was there to open it up. That is ground zero for this search now tonight, if you will. That parking lot is not open to the public. I can tell you deputies are there with police cars. They will not let you near there. That is where the command and control hub for this search is, and where they are sharing critical information with each other in this case. Cindy, thank you for your reporting there. We will check back in with you later. Anyone, again, concerned, so many concerned parents, and absolutely this has to be the worst nightmare for any parent. So many people asking what they can do to help here tonight. And law enforcement telling us that what you can do is take that picture, however you get it, and put it on your social media. Get the word out in case this little girl, Javea Harris, just 4 years old, she is not even 4 feet tall and barely weighs 40 pounds. In case she has made it somehow outside of that area where they are searching, they want her picture everywhere tonight. She was last seen there in that neighborhood, not far from where Sydney was just reporting, just about half a mile where that command center tonight is set up. That little girl last seen at 8:15 last night. You are looking live there. And while it does look empty tonight, this is what we were told to expect. This search is not over, with countless members of law enforcement now devoted to answering the question, where is Javea? I bring in my co-anchor and weather meteorologist Emily Acton here with me. And we were talking last night as we were breaking the story about, you have been warning for a week now that this heat was coming, that the humidity was going to be here. And tonight, while we were sitting talking about the story before air, we use the words dangerous and potentially deadly heat. Mm-hmm. Your heart breaks for anyone who cares about this little girl, and for the idea that if she did just wander off and she is somewhere there in that area they are searching, the conditions that she has been through today.
Yeah, it's pretty intense to think about. And as you were out there, Brett, and you were in the elements and it is hot and you had access to water.
Right.
And ways to stay hydrated. And we don't know if she does have access to it. Correct. Most likely probably does not. So that's a big factor. And we're not really cooling off much overnight either. So the humidity rises for the overnight hours, makes it a lot more muggy out, and makes it a lot harder to cool off.
Right now in Aiken County, the FBI is part of the search for a missing 4-year-old girl. According to the Aiken County Sheriff's Office, Javea Harris was last seen around 8:15 Tuesday night. On social media, the FBI said authorities are canvassing the girl's neighborhood, collecting security videos, and searching with helicopters and drones. They're asking neighbors to check small spaces where Harris could hide.
WLTX breaking news now.
Good afternoon. I'm Christy.
All right, y'all. This is a press conference that was put on yesterday concerning the missing little girl.
Cal Cagna, we are interrupting WLTX Plus to bring you the very latest on a missing girl over in Aiken County. 4-year-old Javea Harris, last seen on Tuesday night. The sheriff there in Aiken County about to give a briefing about the latest on this case. Let's take you to the county.
This investigation gets close to home. We know that this family is living a nightmare, and we are doing everything we can to bring Javea home. Talk a little bit about our initial call. At approximately 8:43 p.m. Tuesday night, 911 dispatch received a call about a 4-year-old missing girl in the area of Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road here in Aiken County. Deputies quickly got a detailed description of Javea. The sheriff's office shared her picture with the public and the media. We immediately began searching for Javea. We'll go over a few of our investigative steps. So to give you an idea of the massive efforts going into this search, law enforcement set up a roadblock in our neighborhood immediately. We continue them roadblocks nonstop. They're still going as we speak, and we'll go for a few more days. Because finding Javea is the most important thing, and we believe them roadblocks may help us do that by gaining some information and maybe talking to some potential witnesses that didn't know they were witnesses. The community has been very supportive, and they're sharing information with us. We've been talking with neighbors. We've completed a grid search of more than 3,000 acres on foot. We've been supported in that by helicopters, drones, and dogs. The FBI is on scene assisting with analytical data, and they have trained personnel on the ground who specializes in investigating missing children cases. There are close to 200 law enforcement officers and first responders within this area searching for Javea to bring her home, and we are not giving up. As of today, we have digital billboards that we put up seeking the public's assistance. Here's what we ask from the citizens of Aiken County. We want to thank you for the tips that you provided us, and we encourage you to continue calling us with those tips. A tip line number that you can call is 803-502-5200. Also, earlier today, we announced that we've set up a website for the public to provide surveillance video, and that's available on our Facebook page. We've gone to a lot of homes and businesses that have cameras, and we want to ensure you that we will capture any and every image that may be valuable to our investigation. We know many of you want to help. Here's what you can do. First off, pray. Be vigilant. Search your own properties anywhere that you think a small child might hide. We're not asking for the public's help with our search as of yet. We've trained personnel and assets that know the procedures to conduct logistical searches. You have Javea's picture. Share that picture far and wide. Also share our social media posts. And again, finally, please pray for Javea. Pray for her family. Pray for each law enforcement officer that's out here in the heat, working tirelessly to find her. And pray for our entire community. I'm going to take a few questions. Please keep in mind, we are not able to share every detail, and we may not have the answers to every question you have right now. Any questions?
Yeah, I know the searches in this area specifically. I know a lot of the search is right here. I'm wondering why that is, and if you think that she's still in this area.
Well, the reason it's here is because this is the area she left from. There's no other details to tell us that Javea went anywhere else other than here.
This morning you guys said parents and they haven't cooperated, but are there any details to whether this is a custody situation involving parents, or did she just wander away on her own?
Well, right now the information we have is she wandered away on her own.
How has the Aiken community in the past 2 days impacted the search?
Well, as you can see, a couple of these guys are pouring sweat. It's hot. We're keeping them hydrated. But our primary focus is bringing Javea home. It don't matter how hot it is. We're here till we do that.
Sheriff, you just said you covered over 2,000, 3,000 acres in your search.
Are you asking the question now, if you search such a broad area, you have not found her, what is next in this case? Is there ongoing investigation running secondary to the search?
Well, this is still a search effort. Obviously, we have FBI, SLED, and some of our investigators following up on other questions and other leads, but we have nothing right now that takes us away from a search in this area.
Have you already gotten videos or photos from the public on that tip line?
Ask me again.
Have you already gotten any photos or videos through that tip line?
As far as the tip line goes, I don't know. I didn't check on that. We've got plenty of video and some tips, though.
Why don't Amber in this situation?
There's requirements, specific requirements through SLED that you have to meet for an Amber Alert. You have to know they've been abducted. You have to have a suspect or a vehicle. We have none of that. This is a missing child case as of right now.
I'm about to ask you a quick question personally. As a part of this community, I know so many people out here searching, our parents, their uncles, their cousins, children. What is this like personally as you're out here looking for this 4-year-old? It's just tiny.
Most everybody out here searching has children. Some have grandchildren. And whether they do or they don't, our job is to protect the citizens of this county. Young, middle-aged, old, and we're not giving up till we have answers, until we bring Javeya home. So, I'm asking for patience and understanding.
Buzz, I'm not sure. I was hoping this news conference would kind of shed light on that. I'm assuming they eliminated the family. What I want to know is, though, she's 4 years old, and all they're saying is she wandered off. Hey, have you seen those podcasts? All they're saying is that she wandered off and at 8:30 at night. So, like I said, I think later it's gonna come out, you know, it's some kind of suspicious activity, but because of the mere fact, like, how does your 4-year-old wander off at 8:30 at night? Well, I think I read something about she was playing with some chickens or something, maybe outside playing with some chickens or something. I'm not for sure because I haven't heard the news say anything about it. So I tend to try to stick with what the news is saying, as much as I can. But I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me, but we're going to keep watching and we're going to stay updated. Yeah, I might have something to do with her. I don't know what the hell that meant. Hey, Natasha.
Priority, as I've already said, is to find Javeya and bring her home to her family and to this community. As with other similar investigations, we cannot release every detail that we know. There's a lot of questions, a lot of rumors about Javeya's disappearance. Please only share the information that the Sheriff Departments provide, because that's the most accurate and up-to-date information. Sharing misinformation could negatively affect our investigation. Don't be responsible for directing our focus away from where it needs to be, which is bringing Javeya home. We all want to find Javeya and bring her back to her family and our community. Thank you.
Y'all happen to have any follow-up questions, just shoot me an email and we'll get you squared away, all right? Thank y'all.
Wrapping up that press conference there over in Aiken County, the sheriff's office starting that press conference by saying, quote, "This family is living a nightmare." Also going into more details about exactly when the missing child's case has been reported. According to the sheriff, it happened around 8:40 p.m. on Tuesday. That's when 911 received the call about the missing girl. Again, 4-year-old Javeya. Deputies then getting the description of the little girl, and then the sheriff's office started to share it with everyone that night. At that point, there was an immediate search, according to the sheriff, saying it was a massive search. He's also saying that there are roadblocks in and around this neighborhood. They've been going on since this search started, and he said it would continue to go for days. He also said finding her is the most important thing right now. So he wants to talk to witnesses, some who may not even know that they are witnesses, and he is asking the community to send information. We did get more details about the search in general. We have learned that this grid search is right now expanding 3,000 acres on foot, including helicopters, drones, and dogs. We're also knowing that the FBI is assisting with trained personnel who specialize in missing children's cases. He also said 200 law enforcement are in and around this area searching for this little girl to bring her home. The sheriff also saying that they are not not giving up. In fact, right now, today, they have released digital billboards with her name on that. He also then started to ask the public. He thanked them for all of these tips and said to continue calling with tips. In fact, there is a phone number. If we have it, we will pop it up on the screen. But if not, it'll also be on our website, WLTX.com. This is a very specific tip line that they have. If anybody has...
They stated at the beginning, Tony, you may have missed it, that I think they did say she was autistic. They said she was nonverbal and autistic. Water, like 80% of the ones who wanted, they're attracted to water. Autistic children tend to be attracted to water. I remember a story that I read where an autistic child actually drowned in I want to say it was a pond or a lake, because they wandered off and they saw the water and they went towards the water.
Any information about where she is, or if they have any photos or videos in and around that area. That number for you today, 803-502-5200. Again, we're going to make sure that's on our website as well. The Sheriff's Office also having a website, as I mentioned. This is where you can provide that video. It is on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page. And then according to that video, that's where they're going to businesses and homes with cameras and capturing that, saying that every single image can be valuable. He's also asking the public to pray, be vigilant, search your own property where a small child may hide. And he is not at this time asking for anybody to help in the actual search, because right now they have that 200 trained personnel who are on the scene doing it right now. Also asking the public, share her picture, share the post from the Sheriff's Office page. Again, pray for her, her family, law enforcement also who are working in this heat for find her, and also to pray for the Aiken County community. The sheriff also saying that they are not able to share every single detail. They may not have every single answer right now, but we do want to just remind everybody the reason why this is not an Amber Alert case, and the Sheriff's Office said it too, because this is not a Amber Alert, it's because you have to know that the child has been abducted. You also need to know that there was a vehicle or a description. They are not saying any of that. That's why it's not an Amber Alert. According to the sheriff, they're saying that, she walked out on her own, and that's why they're searching that specific area, because they have no...
I'm going to mess your name up. Is it Tina? Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Leads or anything that would say otherwise, that they're not in that 3,000 acres in that area. He also mentioned it's incredibly hot out there. The law enforcement is staying hydrated, but also the main focus is bringing her home. We don't care how hot it is. Almost everyone out there does have children or grandchildren who are out there working. And so the Sheriff's Office really ended with, quote, "Our job is to protect our citizens, everyone. We are not giving up until we bring her home." He also mentioned patience and understanding, as the priority right now is to find her and bring her home to this community. Now, again, he reiterated they are not able to release everything right now, but he is also telling the public, do not repost or share any information. He said there are a lot of rumors about this little girl's disappearance, so only share information that the Sheriff's Office is providing, that legitimate source. He also ended this press conference by saying, do not be responsible for redirecting our focus in finding this little girl. But yeah, this press conference gave us a little bit more detail about how massive this search is. Again, 3,000 acres on foot, including helicopters, drones, and dogs, and more than 200 law enforcement who are there in that area looking for the 4-year-old little girl. We are going to have much more from this press conference and the latest on this search coming up later on Friends at 5, and we're going to have much more updates as well on WLTX.com. Thank you all so much for joining us here on WLTX Plus, and stay safe out there.
We're continuing to follow breaking news first at 4. It's now been nearly 48 hours since 4-year-old Javea Harris vanished from her home in Aiken County. The search growing more urgent by the hour. We're going to send things out to our live team coverage with your Will Rio. Bill, we know the sheriff just spoke within the last 30 minutes, giving an update on that search.
Yeah, that's right, Zaina. Again, just in the last 30 minutes, we heard from Aiken County Sheriff Marty Sawyer on an update in the search for 4-year-old Javea Harris here. And he's just saying he wants the community to pray. The support has been immense from this community. There have been tips that have been submitted. There's now a new tip line and a website that you can actually submit photos or videos, any kind of ring camera video that you may have that could lead to finding Javea Harris. And we will have that on our website. That's WRDW.com. Again, there's also that tip line that you see at the bottom of your screen, 803-502-5200. If you have any information, too little is not, you can submit any kind of information that you may have. But again, we heard from Sheriff Sawyer that he says that they're now putting up billboards, digital billboards, for any kind of information that people may have for 4-year-old Harris. We also heard that he said that he wants volunteers and the public to stay away at this moment because he has specialized team. There's about 200 law enforcement personnel who are on the ground ground here in this heat, searching for Harris right now. They've been doing that for 2 days here, and the search has only grown more urgent as time is ticking away. Now, we did have a chance to hear more from Sawyer. He says that this is still a missing persons case, a missing child's case at this time. They have no reason to believe that Javea Harris has left the area. So again, that's why they have those roadblocks in this spot to make sure that they are questioning every single person. And one person who has been on the ground for the last 2 days, that is your Sydney Hood. And I'll toss things over to her. And Sydney, what have you seen out here the last 2 days, and how have things maybe shifted in the last 24 hours from the first day of this search?
I've seen these roadblocks take longer. What I mean by that, the first night I was out here, deputies were just looking inside cars with flashlights and letting people go. But as you can see behind me, we've got a couple of cars lined up. But all day long, I've watched cars line up here on Pipeline Road beside Bethel Baptist Church, where the staging area is at. But you have deputies with clipboards questioning people in these cars. No car is leaving or coming in unchecked. They are asking questions like, what are people doing in the area? How often are they in the area? Do they live around here? Did they see Javea before she went missing? Did they see her the day she went missing? Did they know Javea or her family? Those are just a couple of the questions that are being asked by people. When I say no car is leaving this area unchecked, I mean no car is leaving. Our cars are getting checked and questioned as we go into the neighborhood, driving around, trying to see what we can find out from neighbors, trying to get their perspective on things. Several of the neighbors I've spoken to say that they have been questioned by the FBI and SLED on what they know, on what they saw, just anything to kind of characterize that neighborhood. Some neighbors told me that for the most part, they tend to keep to themselves out here, not a lot of neighbors chatting with each other. But I can tell you, I've seen a lot more neighbors sitting on their front porches and walking around, just trying to see what people are doing out here, trying to help in any way that they can. And I know that Sheriff Sawyer mentioned that the community response has been incredible here. A lot of people wanting to help out here, but he is urging the public to stay away from the staging area, to let law enforcement and the professionals take care of the search right now. But one thing that the public can do, Sheriff Sawyer said, is to use that tip line that the sheriff's office has. We have that number posted on our website as well. They are saying that no detail is small here. Sheriff Sawyer even said that they have made a website for people to drop any photos or videos that the public may feel like could help them in their investigation, give them any tips or any leads to bringing Javea Harris home. That is the primary focus in the search. Sheriff Sawyer said that multiple times just now, that they will not stop searching until they bring this 4-year-old little girl home safely to her family. And we talk about how hot it is out here. It is brutally hot out here. I've seen search crews with sweat rags on their shoulders, carrying around water, just doing anything that they can to try and bring her home, to just bring it into the search and bring her home. And another thing that he says the community can do is to search their own yard, search anywhere where a child may be hiding. So any bushes, any ditches, just utilizing your own space to help them out at this time. But again, as Sheriff Sawyer mentioned multiple times, their primary focus right now is finding Javea and bringing Javea home.
And Sydney, you talked about how thorough those searches are. You can see right there behind you on that roadblock that they actually have opened the trunk of some of these cars to make sure that people aren't hiding anything, to make sure that no one is escaping out of this area with Javea potentially. We know that that's what they're checking for. So another thing that you talked about was just the community support and praying for this family and praying for Javea's safe return home. I actually had a chance to talk to Javea's father earlier this afternoon to just ask him what exactly happened, what he knew on the day that she went missing. He told me that he actually went to a couple of different stores because Javea wanted him to go get some candy. He ended up at a laundromat, and then that's when he saw a large law enforcement presence moving through town. He didn't think anything of it, but he knew that his girlfriend, which is Javea's mother, was pregnant at the time and was worried that maybe she went into labor. We now have found out that
I'm gonna bag that up real quick. They can stop coming on the back side again. Yeah, you can go. That's all right, Miss Marge. Don't worry. Miss Marge, how come you not? Oh, you didn't want to be blue. I was gonna say, Miss Marge, how come you not blue? I'm glad this community is so active. Yeah, that helps a lot. Hey, Miss Margie. Yeah, for the people that keep asking, it's Aiken, South Carolina. Yeah, it does sound suspect to me, man. I've been wanting to say, I've been sort of kind of saying it, but not really, because I'm just waiting to see what happens. Good morning, Robin. Good to see me, Marge. But yeah, it's suspect to me. I'm sorry. Like, I ain't seen too many cases where parents or a parent has reported a child missing and the story don't sound right, and it be some type of foul play. But I'm not gonna speak too much on it until, whatever happens, or whatever has happened, they'll find out. Yeah, me too, Lanier. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I gotta admit that it sounds suspicious. This story I want to listen to again. I want to listen to what this man is saying again. Hold on, because I had to walk off for a minute, so I want to hear this again.
They will not stop searching until they bring this 4-year-old little girl home safely to her family.
I wish
talk
that
about how
too.
hot it is out here. It is brutally hot out here. I've seen search crews with sweat rags on their shoulders, carrying around water, just doing anything that they can to try and bring her home, to just bring it into the search and bring her home. And another thing that he says the community can do is to search their own yard, search anywhere where a child may be hiding. So any bushes, any ditches, just utilizing your own space to help them out at this time. But again, as Sheriff Sawyer mentioned multiple times, their primary focus right now is finding Javea and bringing Javea home.
And Sydney, you talked about how thorough those searches are. You can see right there behind you on that roadblock that they actually have opened the trunk of some of these cars to make sure that people aren't hiding anything, to make sure that no one is escaping out of this area with Javea potentially. We know that that's what they're checking for. So another thing that you talked about was just the community support and praying for this family and praying for Javea's safe return home. I actually had a chance to talk to Javea's father earlier this afternoon to just ask him what exactly happened, what he knew on the day that she went missing. He told me that he actually went to a couple of different stores because Javea wanted him to just the community and praying for Javea's safe return home. I actually had a chance to talk to Javea's father earlier this afternoon to just ask him what exactly happened, what he knew on the day that she went missing. He told me that he actually went to a couple of different stores because Javea wanted him to go get some candy. He ended up at a laundromat, and then that's when he saw a large law enforcement presence moving through town. He didn't think anything of it, but he knew that his girlfriend, which is Javea's mother, was pregnant at the time and was worried that maybe she went into labor. We now have found out that she did actually go into labor and have a child the same day that Javea went missing, but he actually went home, saw a large law enforcement presence, saw a drone in the air already, said he couldn't go to the house or be in that area. He was questioned by detectives and investigators there on scene, but he says they have no idea what happened. We know that Javea's mother was actually the one who called 911 the night that she went missing. The last thing we know is that Javea was actually outside by the chicken coop playing with some of the chickens, and that was the last time that she was seen. And now we're seeing.
All right, so daddy going to now. Mind y'all, this is 8:30 at night, right? This happened a couple of days ago. 8:30 at night, if I'm not mistaken. 8:30 at night. Daddy gone to the store, 2 or 3 different stores to buy candy. He ends up at a laundromat. Mama is at the house and pretty much in labor. Baby outside playing with the chickens. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. That dad is. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let this play out.
These missing persons flyers all over town.
What I am gonna do, we're gonna listen to this story one more time. And it's the reason, the people that know me know it's the reason why I do this.
Multiple times, their primary focus right now is finding Javea and bringing Javea home.
And Sydney, you talked about how thorough those searches are. You can see right there behind you on that roadblock that they actually have opened the trunk of some of these cars to make sure that people aren't hiding anything, to make sure that no one is escaping out of this area with Javea potentially. We know that that's what they're checking for. So another thing that you talked about was just the community support and praying for this family and praying for Javea's safe return home. I actually had a chance to talk to Javea's father earlier this afternoon to just ask him what exactly happened, what he knew on the day that she went missing. He told me that he actually went to a couple of different stores because Javea wanted him to go get some candy. He ended up at a laundromat, and then that's when he saw a large law enforcement presence moving through town. He didn't think anything of it, but he knew that his girlfriend, which is Javea's mother, was pregnant at the time and was worried that maybe she went into labor. We now have found out that she did actually go into labor and have a child the same day that Javea went missing, but he actually went home, saw a large law enforcement presence, saw a drone in the air already, said he couldn't go to the house or be in that area. He was questioned by detectives and investigators there on scene, but he says they have no idea what happened. We know that Javea's mother was actually the one who called 911 the night that she went missing. The last thing we know is that Javea was actually outside by the chicken coop playing with some of the chickens, and that was the last time that she was seen. And now we're seeing these missing persons flyers all over town in this community. If you have any information, reach out. They said that they are just absolutely torn up. Javea's father actually got emotional with me over the phone, saying that you hear about things like this in the movies or on TV, but you never expect it to hit so close to home, and especially to your own family here. So this is a very tight-knit community. We've seen so many people reach out to the sheriff's office wanting to offer support and offer any help that they can. can. But they say the best thing that you can do is stay away from this area as investigators continue to comb this area. They've searched around 3,000 acres. And if you've been out here, it's pretty hilly. It's very wooded too. So you can imagine what they're trying to go through. There's still Hurricane Helene damage and debris in the wooded area. So, and not to mention the temperature. So they're dealing with a lot out here. They're just asking the communities to send in any tips and support that they can through that tip line and the website that they have. Again, we'll have that on our website as they continue their search for Javea Harris out here. Zaina.
Will, thank you. And again, we're going on almost 2 days since little Javea was last seen. And a lot of you actually may be wondering, why is for Javea? Why is there not an Amber Alert? We actually asked that question. Law enforcement must meet certain requirements. They told us they must believe a child was abducted. The child must be 17 years old or younger and in immediate danger. They have to have sufficient information available, suspect information, vehicle details, along with the child's name and information. Of course, they have that, but Sheriff Sawyer did say they do not have any details regarding the suspect or vehicle details. That's why they did not issue an Amber Alert. The child's information would also have to be entered into the National Crime Information Center. But again, the sheriff saying they are still investigating this as a missing child's case. They are still looking through that area because they believe she still is within that area she was not seen too far from. Again, the tip line we want to show you again. We want to show you Javea's picture here on your screen. Again, she went missing Tuesday night. The number for the tip line, 803-502-520. The sheriff's office also saying they have a website where neighbors can share their.
Y'all had some good questions in the chat. I wish I could answer them, but I'm reading them, but I can't answer them. But like I said, all I can say is that we will keep following this story. Any updates on the story, I'm gonna keep y'all posted. But 2 days, she's 4. She's not verbal. The heat. I pray. And we should all pray, right? And I try my best not to become desensitized on this channel, because this channel, we cover a lot. We cover a lot. We see a lot. We read a lot. We listen to a lot. And I hate to kind of like judge each case that we cover by the last case. But the people that's been following me know the last case we covered, where there was a missing child involved, how it turned out. Especially, and we've covered several cases where children have come up missing. And, it's like, you kind of know how it's going to turn out, but then you pray that it don't turn out that way. But for some reason, it always does. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. I'm not saying I'm waiting for the ball to drop. I'm just saying for some reason with this one, I feel something in my gut. That's all I'm going to say.
Surveillance video, doorbell video, anything that could have caught something important. Share it. Investigators say she was wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, Crocs, and has pink beads in her braids. If you see her, you are urged to contact 911 immediately. And a quick note for those of you who may be eager to join in on the search efforts, we've been mentioning officials are urging you to stay back while they investigate. We asked them if they were in need of any water or any other supplies. They told us no, not right now. They would just like everyone to stay away from the scene, but you can help by sharing her photo out there and any tip information you may have. We're going to bring in now your first alert meteorologist, Emily Acton. Emily, we've been talking about this heat, certainly not helping with that search. It's really hot. You've been talking about heat advisories, the heat index within triple digits.
A 4-year-old girl missing for nearly 2 days. Search teams have now covered more than 3,000 acres in Aiken County by helicopter, drone, and on foot.
This family is living a nightmare, and we are doing everything we can to bring Javea home.
If you know anything, authorities want to hear from you tonight.
We're continuing to follow breaking news tonight out of Aiken County, where local, state, and federal authorities are nearing 2 days of searching for 4-year-old Javea Harris. Your News 1226 team is live from the command center in Aiken County, as well as right here in studio, working to bring you all the information we have on search efforts. We go out live now to your Will Rio and Brett Buffington.
Well, Zaina, the sheriff telling us that they will not give up until Javea Harris is brought home safely here. As you said, that we have now searched 3,000 acres. There's 200 law enforcement officials on the ground here. It is hot out here, and time is of the essence.
So they shared a map this afternoon of just this search area. It is massive. Some 200 law enforcement personnel trained, specifically FBI agents here, in the search for missing children. Part of this search, as they ask for anyone with digital evidence in this missing persons case, Please submit it. The website link on our website, wrdw.com, this afternoon. And that is, the sheriff says, this community's heart is breaking. So many of these people part of the search will, they are parents. They are uncles, cousins, grandparents. They have little ones. This little girl, 4 years old, not 4 feet tall, just 40-something pounds. And they believe that she wandered off. They still have no reason to believe that she did not do more than that, the sheriff said this afternoon, and could somewhere be not far from that home, just a half a mile from here.
And that's why we're still seeing the roadblocks here all around us, is that they are thoroughly checking every single car that is coming in and out of this area where the command center is. And to go back to the community support and what so many families are feeling here tonight, he said a lot of these these investigators and searchers out here have kids of their own. They know what it's like to go through stuff like this. And that's the big impact. You see helicopters in the air today and ground crews out here trying to find any kind of sign of Javea Harris.
You have to think in the back of your head, and I've covered 2 other large-scale searches like this for missing children in my career. And I can tell you, this is something that weighs on everybody who hears this story. At home, we know you are feeling the heartbreak thinking of this family, thinking of this little girl. But these searchers have in the back of their head, not only in a career in law enforcement where you deal with so much bad, they have in the back of their head that this has been hot. Our weather team has been warning for days about this heat cap that was coming through, the spike in the heat, the humidity that was going to make the feel-like temperatures. There's a heat warning coming out tomorrow where it's going to feel like 108 in the afternoon. Well, they all have that in the back of their head that this little girl, just 4, if she wandered away, it has coming up on 48 hours that she could have been somewhere out here if what they believe is true, that she has wandered away. And the sheriff reiterating, I even asked specifically, well, is there a secondary investigation going on right now where you have some reason to believe this is not a missing person search? And he said right now, everything they have that they can share with us, and certainly in any law enforcement case, in any investigation, there are things that they can't share because it would contaminate any investigative work they are doing. But right now, they have no reason to believe that she is not somewhere nearby.
And that's why they don't want the public showing up to this area that they do have taped off and that they're looking in, is because if someone who's not trained in this kind of search marks off an area that they said that they searched, they can't trust that information to believe that that has been properly searched and gone through.
And I can just tell you that there is that sense that they have to preserve this area too. Traveling through something that could be later, no matter how this case evolves, that could be later used as evidence or something to link where this little girl might be if she is not here, as they believe. And I can tell you something that stood out to me, Will, and this goes back to what Cindy Hood was talking about throughout the day yesterday, no detail being too small, is the sheriff said that in these roadblocks that were set up in just moments after this report happened, I can tell you, listening to the dispatch record, that within seconds of the 911 call and the dispatch going out, an officer came back and said, page the dog team. So they were thinking about quickly finding, quickly searching. But interestingly, in moments after that, they started these roadblocks, and the sheriff saying this afternoon that people who stopped at that and were checked and they got their information and talked with officers have now become witnesses in what they were able to share in this story and in this case.
And again, that's why they now have as well that website that's set up that anyone can submit any kind of photos, videos, ring camera, surveillance from local stores. And then you can also obviously reach out to that tip line. That's 803-502-5200 at the bottom of your screen there. We also have that on our website. I know we heard from Sheriff Sawyer earlier today in his press conference. Here's what he had to say about the investigation right now.
There are close to 200 law enforcement officers and first responders within this area searching for Javea to bring her home. And we are not giving up.
The sheriff there, obviously, with the biggest part of this case, and so many people asking the question of where is she, they will be here until that answer is given. But you got to talk with her father today. Interesting perspective on where her mother was through all this. So many people have been asking that question for almost 2 days now, and you have answers.
Right. So we got the incident report earlier today, as well as talking to Javea's father. So the incident report, to give you an idea, was the initial caller was the mother. It was Javea's mother. And the last thing we know is that she was out in the yard and she was playing at the chicken coop with some chickens and then wandered off. That's what the sheriff's office has told us, is that she wandered off. That's the information that they have. But again, I did talk to her father, and he says that he was actually going to the store to get Javea some candy. He went to several different stores, ended up at the laundromat, and that's when he saw law enforcement racing towards the scene. Didn't think that it had anything to do with his family, as anyone would think, right? And then that's when he started thinking, well, my girlfriend's pregnant. Maybe she went into labor. There's an emergency. So he sped home. That's when he saw the large law enforcement presence, drones already in the air. They were already asking him questions. And then they said that this has just been heartbreaking for them. Again, this is his narrative that he described to me in his own words. He says that this is truly devastating. They don't know what happened to Javea, and they are still wanting to know. They never thought that something like this would hit so close to their own community and family.
You have to think about that, father. What a nightmare to pull back into what this scene must have looked like. It has grown here. Some 200 people searching 3,000 acres here in Aiken County as the search for this missing 4-year-old continues this evening.
Thanks, Will and Brad. Again, they just mentioned the sheriff saying earlier they are still treating this as a missing child's case. That's why they're still looking in that area near where she was last seen. I'm bringing in your First Alert meteorologist, Emily Acton. Emily, we're talking about heat now, too, as this search continues. There's definitely a risk factor with this when it comes to the personnel searching, but also little Javea that could still be out in these conditions.
Yeah, it is brutally hot out there, and that's what we've seen the past couple of days, and that's going to continue at least throughout the evening hours as well. So I was showing the feels like temperature right now. We're feeling like the triple digits, and even by 10 p.m. tonight, we're still going to feel like the upper 80s. So the heat is a big factor. Dehydration, that's a concern. Heat exhaustion, that's a concern as we continue the search.
And people are actually taking a look at that area where they're searching. We're talking about more than 3,000 acres. That's what's highlighted on your screen, followed by that tip line that you can call. And Emily, you've also been talking about heat advisories, right? That could possibly continue into the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to see a heat advisory continue for the next 2 hours here in the CSRA. And as we go throughout the rest of our evening, oh, there it goes. It kind of went away there. But we will see, again, those feels like temperatures still in the triple digits, that heat advisory out until 8 p.m. tonight. We'll see the heat advisory again tomorrow. So dangerous heat is here, and it's sticking around.
Emily, thank you. We want to bring in your Sydney Hood, who's also live in Aiken County from right outside the command center. Sydney, you've actually been out on this search since day one, Tuesday night. How has search efforts changed in the last 48 hours now? What's it looking like out there?
The search is definitely growing more urgent by the hours, Zeta, as again, like you just mentioned, we inch closer to the 48-hour mark since Javea Harris was last seen. And I want to talk about these roadblocks that have been going on in the Shiloh Heights area. You can see one going on right here behind me on Pipeline Road. I'm in front of Bethel Baptist Church, which is the staging area for all the law enforcement agencies out here. But they have various roadblocks set up, like I said, Pipeline Road over onto Reynolds Pond Road. No car is getting in or out of this neighborhood unchecked. They are asking people their names, their phone numbers, any information that they may have, such as did they see Javea Harris the day she went missing? Did they know her or her family prior to that day? They are asking people what are they doing in the area, how often they frequent this area, and just, again, any sort of basic information that could lead law enforcement in the direction of bringing Javea Harris home. And I said again, no car is leaving or going unchecked. And when I say every car, it doesn't matter if you live in this neighborhood, if you work in this area, or if you're just traveling through, they are going to stop your car, open up your trunks, open up your doors, ask you questions, because like Sheriff Sawyer said, those roadblocks are helping them in this investigation because they say they could be talking to potential witnesses in this case. But that also goes with the overall community help. Sheriff Sawyer mentioned in his news conference, he mentioned that a lot of people in this community want to help. They want to be a part of the search. He is urging people to stay away from the command center out here on Pipeline Road. But he said that what the community can do is utilize that tip line the sheriff's office has on their website. We have it on our website as well. The sheriff announced today that they have opened a website where anyone can go in and submit any photos or videos that may help the sheriff's office in this investigation. Sheriff Sawyer said that as of today, they have put up digital billboards getting Javea Harris's face and name out there. I was at a gas station about a half a mile from this church, and I saw her poster on the front door there with the tip line from the sheriff's office as well. And Sheriff Sawyer said that people who live in this Shiloh Heights neighborhood to look around in their yards, look in any bushes or ditches or anywhere where a child may potentially be at. He wants the community to know that they can play a part in that by being vigilant and also just praying for Javea, praying for her family, and praying for the people who are out here battling this brutal heat, searching for her. Take a listen at what he had to say.
Most everybody out here searching has children. Some have grandchildren. And whether they do or they don't, our job is to protect the citizens of this county. Young, middle-aged, old, and we're not giving up until we have answers, until we bring Javea home. So, I'm asking for patience and understanding. Our priority, as I've already said, is to find Javea and bring her home to her family and to this community.
Again, you just heard from Aiken County Sheriff Marty Sawyer there. He said that they are not giving up until they bring 4-year-old Javea Harris home. Again, he urges people to utilize that tip line that they have and to share Javea's photo. We cannot get her face and name out there enough to the public. And Dana, I can say based on what I've heard from neighbors out here and what I've seen on social media, there is no doubt in my mind that Javea Harris's name has spread so far outside of Aiken County here tonight.
Absolutely, Sydney. I agree with you. Thank you for that update. We go now to your Meredith Anderson, who has a bird's eye view of the search today, Meredith.
Yeah, Zaina, we were able to track SLED's helicopter using its tail number, and we want to show you 2 flight paths. This is the most recent one. Here's Aiken Regional. This is Columbia Highway North. You can see this was an area of interest. They circled this area for about an hour, but just before that, they were searching in another area, and this is important. This is where Javea lives and her family. They flew over this way to some of the lower-lying rural areas, heavily wooded, difficult to see from the road, so they wanted to look from a bird's eye view. After that, they went over here, and this is important. You can't see the topography on this map. This is a rather large pond, so they were specifically interested in a body of water before heading back to Aiken.
Y'all. I will say this. Oh, I don't know. What's your name? I don't know. I will say this. They doing a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like law enforcement is doing everything and anything they can. So I just wanted to say that. I do think that they are really, really trying to find this baby. So she walked away. How far could she get if mom was outside with her? I don't know if the mom was outside with her. I didn't hear that. I could have missed it, though. I don't know if the mom was out there. I don't understand how you left your child outside in the heat to play some chickens and don't check on them. I got to keep repeating. I got to keep saying, according to the news reports, it was 8:30 at night. This is weird. 8:30 at night, daddy gone to 2 stores to find, why you got to go to 2 stores and a laundromat to find candy, and then mama in the house apparently going into labor. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to keep following it. They are truth. Law enforcement is actually doing a great job. Yeah, I think they are. I think they are.
Regional. Of course, we will be monitoring SLED's helicopter and let you know if there are any other areas of interest that we see.
Thank you, Meredith. A large search effort, both on the ground and in the sky. You may be wondering why there wasn't an Amber Alert. We actually looked into that. There are specific requirements law enforcement needs to send one out. Authorities must believe a child was abducted. The child needs to be 17 years old or younger and in immediate danger. They have to have enough information available, like suspect information and vehicle details, along with the child's name and information entered into the National Crime Information Center. We want to give you another look at Javea. Aiken County deputies say she was last seen Tuesday night when her mother saw her playing in their chicken coop at their home on Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road around 8 o'clock. She told deputies Javea was wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, Crocs, and she has braids with pink beads on the end. If you see her, call 911 or submit any tips to the tip line here on your screen.
Federal investigators have joined a search to find a missing 4-year-old girl in South Carolina. FBI, local law enforcement state agents looking for Javea Harris in Aiken County. She's been using drones to find her. She was last seen at her home Tuesday night. A nearby church, the pastor calls it normally a fun place for fellowship, is now a headquarters for all these searchers who have grown more urgent in these scorching temperatures.
They called me this morning at 1:30 and come and open the fellowship hall so they could have restrooms and a cool place to get and those kind of things, and of course water and all that. So I've been here since 1:30 this morning.
Harris is described as smart, talkative, friendly, loves Minnie Mouse, and likes to chase chickens. Neighbors being asked to search their property for any place a child could be hiding.
Well, that report
The
said
FBI is conducting a thorough multi-agency
that report
search
said
for
she was talkative.
4-year-old Javea Kamani Harris, who vanished in Aiken.
I am so confused because y'all remember at the beginning of this, we heard a news report that she may be autistic. Now we're getting a report saying she was talkative. So I'm not sure, y'all. All I do is follow these news stories, and the news don't always. Right, Tanya, I'm not understanding. Y'all heard it with me. The news report say she could be autistic. So I'm not. I don't know. I'm just following the news, y'all. I'm just following the news.
County, South Carolina, late on Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. Michele Herring, the girl's mother, reported her missing to the police shortly after 8:45 p.m. At their house in the 30 block of Hillsborough Street, the mother claimed to have last seen Javea playing with the chickens in the chicken coop at around 8 p.m. Deputies immediately began a thorough search after receiving the information, deploying more cops, setting up a command post, and monitoring the area. Javea had pink beads in her braided hair and was dressed in pink Minnie Mouse pajamas and Crocs. Javea is roughly 3 feet 6 inches tall and weighs around 40 pounds. According to the authorities, she is amiable, sociable, and compact enough to fit in small areas. Investigators used drones, helicopters, K-9 teams, professionally trained search workers, went door to door, halted cars leaving the area, questioned locals, and scoured the surrounding woods throughout the night. Authorities say the search has now expanded to cover more than 3,000 acres, involving approximately 200 law enforcement officers and first responders from numerous agencies, including the FBI, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, the South Carolina Highway Patrol, and multiple local sheriff's offices. Javia's father, Jamaria Harris, has spoken out about the terrible ordeal, saying the uncertainty has been painful. According to him, Javia is intelligent, courteous, amiable, and not the kind of kid who would flee. In response to internet rumors that she had autism, he stated that she had never received a diagnosis and had not displayed any symptoms that would indicate it. He further revealed that he had previously notified detectives about people he felt had been prowling around the family's house in recent days, though officials have not commented publicly on whether those complaints are relevant to the probe. One topic that has sparked a lot of internet debate is statements made by people who claim to be neighbors. Before Javia was reported missing, a number of people claimed on social media that they hadn't seen her in almost 2 months. These allegations have not yet been verified by law enforcement, and investigators have not stated that they are included in the official timetable. These claims are still unconfirmed and therefore to be regarded as accusations rather than proven facts. Confusion over reports that the case was being handled as an abduction was also addressed by investigators. Authorities later confirmed that a deputy's brief reference to the probe as an abduction during Thursday's search was incorrect. Officials said they have not confirmed an abduction, which is one reason an Amber Alert has not been issued. Emergency officials in South Carolina clarified that certain requirements must be met for an Amber Alert, such as verified proof of an abduction and immediate danger. Investigators emphasized that they are exploring every possibilities even in the absence of a verified kidnapping. Residents are still being urged by officials to thoroughly inspect sheds, crawl spaces, cars, outbuildings, forested areas, and any other place where a young child can get stuck or concealed. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 right away or call the designated tip line at 803-502-5200.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
He pops in the 8s, dripped out. Pop.
Okay, y'all. So that was all we had on that story. Like I said, we are going to stay. I'm going to keep y'all updated, y'all. I'm watching constantly on any updates of them finding something or finding anything that they come and report about. So y'all just stay tuned. If you're in here and you want to keep up with my updates, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I go live on this. Whenever I get an update, I will go live and talk about it. The next story, this is the last story I think for today, y'all. We're going to talk about the whole Pooh Shiesty Gucci Man situation, which I wasn't going to do an update on, but somebody asked me about it. And I said, okay, great, I'll do it. Ever since this video came out, this so-called video came out of Pooh Shiesty, which I didn't need to see the video. I actually already felt like what was done was done. But yeah, there's a whole video that came out. Apparently the feds released or whatever of what happened during that so-called robbery. And someone wanted me to do an update, so here I am doing an update. So that's the next story we're getting into. This video we're about to watch and react to is from The Family. Y'all know I love the channel The Family. I'm going to share them out on my community wall. Y'all go over there and click on the video, please, and give the video a thumbs up. Check out the channel if you like, subscribe. Prayers up for, thank you. I hope I'm not messing up your name, Tana. Thank you. Prayers up for this baby and that she may be found unharmed and she will be brought back home. And whatever the situation may be, may God just have complete control over it. All right. So with that being said, let's listen to this video, y'all. This is going to be the last reaction for the day.
Pops in the 8s, KD in the Gummers. Yep. Yeah, shit going on.
I'm locked in with TP, we finna make a hit. Got it to tell what happened, and he left stuff out. I'm not gonna do that. There is a video of this thing. a lot of people know already what happened. That live stream with Ben the Don, that was about Pooh Shiesty.
Everything's cleaning them up.
Are you serious?
The nigga retarded, bro. It hasn't hit the streets yet. Remember, I always get the shit first.
Yeah, I gotta talk to you at the stream, bro. I'll call you in a little bit, bro. No, bro, this shit never fucking ends. That shit damn near made me on the end stream, gang.
Gucci Mane got robbed, bro. And I've allowed a lot of people to come in. Y'all know me and said he really ain't been seen, whatever. I did not get this from him as well. Damn, Gucci. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't think Pooh Shiesty was dumb enough. But y'all, Pooh Shiesty is dumb enough.
In Cordova, at the scene in Cordova, our crews have seen FBI and TBI agents going in and out of that house. The Shelby County Assessor's website lists this house as being owned by Lontrell Williams. That is the name of both Pooh Shiesty and his father. The rap star is in a halfway house right now after being released from federal.
Bam, today, June 25th, 2026. And today turned into one of the most interesting days when it comes to the Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. You see, earlier today, the Memphis rap star Glorilla had finally dropped the highly anticipated song titled Maine featuring the one and only Pooh Shiesty. Now, those who are not familiar, this song was previewed before Pooh Shiesty got incarcerated. He was in the studio with Glorilla. Little did his fans know that months prior, he allegedly robbed his CEO. But nonetheless, that song was released. Gucci Mane gave it the green light mid the federal investigation. As you can see, it's under 1017 and CMG.
Hey, pistol told a pudge in my t-shirt every time I drum hang. You can't pick the wrong one.
Now, while the internet was focused on the music, something happened inside a federal courtroom that, in my opinion, is even bigger. Because on this very same day, federal prosecutors filed a brand new response in Texas, introducing why they say new evidence make things clear that the case they have against Pooh Shiesty is even stronger. But let me ask you a real question, fam. Imagine having it so sweet on federal home confinement that, according to the feds, you end up in an inappropriate relationship with not one, but two women responsible for helping supervise you. She allegedly started.
So apparently, Pooh Shiesty, okay, was boning his PO. Is it a PO? Parole, probation, whatever. Because I always wondered when this story broke out in the hell he was able to go across state lines to commit this crime. Like, isn't he supposed to be monitored? Like, wasn't he supposed to be monitored? How in the hell did he make his trip? Somebody said, I don't know how true it is. Somebody said he actually, the woman called him while he was actually committing the crime. I don't know. We're going to listen. Because y'all know I'm listening to this stuff in real time with y'all. I haven't listened, but I'm going to listen and we're going to talk.
Entering fake date passes so you can move around when you're supposed to be. That the case they have against Pooh Shiesty is even stronger. But let me ask you a real question, fam. Imagine having it so sweet on federal home confinement that, according to the feds, you end up in an inappropriate relationship with not one, but two women responsible for helping supervise you. She allegedly started entering fake date passes so you can move around when you're supposed to be locked down. And after everything fall apart, those same date passes and contradictions between where you were and where you were supposed to be had turned into evidence against you. Then imagine thinking your daddy got your back through it all, right? Y'all chasing millions. You finally get another shot at life. But as mentioned in the previous video, while incarcerated, you found out your dad is allegedly an informant for another case. He's supposed to be guiding you, but instead he next to you robbing your CEO. And on top of that, he was the first one to get bond in your case, this new one. But the feds now say they recovered the alleged contract release from your father's email. And now they have the studio video they say captured the incident. Is it a coincidence? Because some people say they saw this a mile away. Man, that's on you. So the people and the evidence you believe will protect you. Prosecutors now say, help him build a case against you. You feel sorry for him? Or should he have known better? Fam, that's for you to decide. That's exactly where this story takes us today. Today, we're breaking down a brand new federal filing, the government's allegations against the caseworker, the alleged fake date passes, the newly recovered contract and studio video, and the people who've already made bond. And why prosecutors believe this case against Pooh Shiesty is stronger today than it was just a few months ago. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it.
And they said I needed to make another PSA. Listen, if you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. It's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful tools. And one of the main tools lets you access up to $750 of your paycheck in advance if you switch over with Current. You get a full set of features like the paycheck advance, overdraft, the bill card, and more. Whether you make sure you go through the full sign-up process so you don't miss out. So let's check out this video.
Her phone, so she's going to try and ruin this video as much as she can. But we have a guest star this evening, and it is that's Erin Stromberg. There she is, Zoe Erin.
And we're talking about Pooh Shiesty, not Dirk, I think.
Oh shit, we are. Whatever. We'll talk about both. So let's talk about Pooh Shiesty first. So I've been reading, what's going on in the case. And my opinion is, I did the bond hearing. I looked at the evidence. My opinion on the case has not changed. I think it's a very weak case for the feds. I think it's extremely beatable. I know people are talking about, oh, there's all this evidence. There's actually not that much evidence in terms of what went on, number one. Number two is I don't even think the feds have jurisdiction over this case. I have no idea how it's a federal case. It, A, does not meet the elements of kidnapping. For a federal.
Who the hell is this dude that think that the feds don't have jurisdiction? The man was on federal probation or parole or what the fuck? I gotta refresh myself on this shit. Because actually I did this months ago and I ain't looked at it or talked about it since because I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of ignorance. I'm sick of people just doing stupid ass shit. They come up out the hood. They make it up out the hood. They make it big. They make money and they still can't leave the streets alone. Like for real. So he was on something. The nigga was out on something from the feds. Probation, parole, whatever the fuck. I got to refresh myself on it and I will. But long story short, he crossed state lines to commit a damn crime while under federal jurisdiction. Are we okay, sir? What is your name? Who are you? Are you okay? Because even if they can't prove kidnapping or robbery or anything else, which they can, but let's just X that out for right now. He going back in on he violated. Point blank period. Who are you paid? Are you okay? He violated. He got to go back no matter federal parole. Yeah, there you go, Miss B. Shit. I'm just saying, is this man okay? Lord Jesus, I'm telling you, money would buy ignorance. Money would buy lies. Money would buy motherfuckers that just put all their senses aside and come out here on social media and just say any damn thing. He going back to prison. Even if they don't prove a case with this whole Gucci thing, he going back to prison. Point blank, period. Period. I can't believe it. I'm just, who is this person?
Federal case. B, there's a big problem in terms of an extortion about this mysterious contract that was signed but then never used, and no one ever talked about it. It never came out in anything. So how that was used for some sort of advantage, it's a crazy case. I still honestly think it's a great case. I know everyone says, oh, he got off the case because he thinks it's a loser. That's not true. When there's cases in different jurisdictions, I always do what's best and what's right for the client, as well as what's right for me in terms of my scheduling and how much time I can dedicate to a case. And that's kind of the big thing about it is he's got two great attorneys that I think will do a very nice job for him. I think they're going to file the appropriate motions. I think the case is going to get dismissed or it's going to be great.
You know what, dude? So you the ex-attorney, huh? You the ex-attorney who ain't on the case no more, but you still talking shit. Well, he got Mike Howard. According to the streets, his attorney is Mike Howard. And from what I understand, from what I think, in my opinion, Mike Howard just threw the case of Carmelo Anthony. I'm just saying. Can't trust no. Listen, Mike Howard, the same defense attorney who just did a whole shitty ass job on the Carmelo Anthony case, is Pooh Shiesty's lawyer. The fuck out of here. All you motherfuckers ain't no good. All you motherfuckers are crooked. I don't trust none of you. They think because the more money you have, the better lawyer you get. Damn lies. Motherfucker can at this point, get a motherfucking public defender that'll do a better job than these paid ass motherfucking Uncle Tom ass motherfuckers. I said what I said. You think because a motherfucker got money can pay for a good lawyer, these lawyers are on the take. Period. This man is a lawyer. He's a lawyer. And he said he don't understand why the feds are here. My God, today. Okay.
Weakened to the point where it's not really a case. So now,
Well, that was Pooh Shiesty, former attorney, before the new filing from the feds. And I guess it's safe to say it's not always good to trust a guy who charged per hour and deciding to give up free legal advice.
Oh, my dude, I love the family. I love him. He don't fuck around. He don't play around. He just say, come on, family. It ain't good to trust a motherfucker. You got to pay by the hour. Let's go.
Is social media. But let's continue. The reason why we're here, the new details, and how the feds get it. So apparently this is a response from the feds to Pooh Shiesty and his legal team to the courts, asking for bond, saying that the case is weak. It's also noted, I say this out the gate, after this recent filing, Big 30 did not block the door. It was somebody else who we'll later identify, nor did he have the Drake. The only thing Big 30 had was a cell phone and recording. And it also gave a motive leading up to this. It seemed, allegedly, Pooh Shiesty would have stayed if he was able to get his master's for his future work, because they couldn't come to an agreement is what led up to this. But the real question is this: once we read this filing, fam, do you believe it was Gucci Mane who was keeping the masters or Atlantic Records? Let's continue. On the first 5 pages of this new filing was factual background. The feds indicate on January 10, 2026, which we already know, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators perpetrated the armed kidnapping and robbery of 3 victims in Dallas, Texas, in the music recording studio. Williams Jr., a popular recording artist who performs under the moniker Pooh Shiesty, according to the feds, also leads a Memphis-based street gang referred to as the Chopper Gang. For those who don't know, at the time of the offense, Williams Jr. resided in North Texas, fulfilling the final months of a 63-month sentence for conspiracy to possess firearms and furtherance of violence or drug trafficking crimes in violation of 18 USC. As part of his sentence, Pooh Shiesty was required to reside in a Frisco, Texas apartment and was supervised by case managers with the BOP and volunteers of VOA. Pooh Shiesty home detention including, among other requirements, that he would not own or possess any dangerous weapons, associate with people having a criminal record, or consume alcohol beverages or use controlled substance. Unless given specific permission to do otherwise, Williams Jr. was required by these conditions to remain at his place of residence. But Williams Jr. routinely failed to abide by these conditions throughout the course of his home confinement, assisted in striking these requirements through the help of conclusive VOA employees. Investigators have now learned that Williams Jr. was involved in an inappropriate relationship with at least one of his VOA case supervisors, and that his VOA employee was actively involved in entering fake date passes that would allow Williams Jr. to travel to unapproved locations while he was supposed to be confined to his residence. The feds say the misconduct extended the day of the kidnapping itself on January 10, 2026. They said on that day, the employee entered 3 date passes, allowing Pooh Shiesty to travel, and contacted him 19 times over the course of the day. VOA later terminated the employee for this conduct. Despite having VOA employees actively assisting him, Pooh Shiesty still managed to be formally written up for violating his conditions on at least 4 occasions. The first, November 8, 2025, he provided a cold urine sample, which was documented as a refusal. The second, January 30th, 2026, failing to appear for a urine. He said he was unable to secure transportation. The next was March 3rd, 2026, failing to report for his bi-weekly check-in. The next, claiming he did not have transportation to report for a scheduled urinalysis appointment on March 21st, 2026, when Williams Jr. asked if he could report the next morning for the test. VOA approved the request, yet he still failed to report. On page 6, the feds say Pooh Shiesty planned and executed the premeditated armed kidnapping to extort his way out of his recording contract. They say on the day of the offense, Williams Jr. lured R.D. music industry executive, who we all know as Gucci Mane, and other victims to Dallas under the guise of participating in a business meeting. Pooh Shiesty had been signed to RD record label for over 5 years, but they also point out much of that Pooh Shiesty was federally incarcerated. During his incarceration, they say Williams Sr. and Williams Jr. made numerous unsuccessful attempts to negotiate the terms of Williams Jr. contract with RD, including trying to obtain the rights to Williams Jr. master recordings. Once Williams Jr. was released to home confinement in October 2025, he personally continued to push these negotiations, while RD remained open to negotiating certain aspects of Williams Jr.'s contract, such as album payouts. RD was adamant that he would not give Williams Jr. the rights to his masters. It was under the pretext of continuing these negotiations that RD believed he was invited to Dallas. On January 10, 2026, RD traveled to Texas to attend a meeting with his photographer, MM, his close friend, BP, and his 2 former police officer security guards, CW and TD. Pooh Shiesty arrived at the recording studio with Williams Sr. and his fellow Chopper Gang leaders, Memphis recording artist Rodney White Jr., aka Big 30, his close friend Kendarius Waters, and 5 other Confederates. And we all know at the studio, witnesses believe Pooh Shiesty got a call from his parole officer telling him he wasn't supposed to be out. And after that call, Pooh Shiesty asked to speak with Gucci Mane in the soundproof recording studio room with Pooh Shiesty and Pooh Shiesty dad. Once inside the recording room, Williams Jr. demanded RD release from his recording contract and produce a printed contractual release for RD to sign. The feds say, of course, it was printed hours before at the Staples. They also noted it was later recovered from Williams Sr. email, the actual contract and other evidence. This is the contract, fam. They say Gucci Mane refused to sign the presented release paperwork, prompted Pooh Shiesty to instruct Big 30 to bring him his bag. Big 30 returned with his bag. Pooh Shiesty produced an AK-style pistol, pointed it at RD's head, and repeated his demand. Contract. Unsatisfied with merely obtaining the written release of the contract, Williams Jr. announced that he wanted to film RD. Big 30 recorded RD on his cell phone, stating that Pooh Shiesty dropped from 1017. All while co-defendant DeMarcus Glover, who had entered the recording room as the altercation ensued, blocked the door holding a Draco. After obtaining RD's signature and verbal release of contract, Williams Jr. robbed RD of around $450,000 worth of personal property, including his wedding band, a watch, a pair of earrings, and cash RD was carrying in his pocket, with signed release and RD's jury in his hand. Williams Jr. and CEO 30 forced RD back into the control room at gunpoint, hands raised. There, the violence continued. Pooh Shiesty and 2 other co-conspirators blocked the exit door with firearms drawn, while the other co-conspirators robbed MM and BP at gunpoint. During the offense, MM had described that he was choked to the point of near unconsciousness, while BP had recounted to investigators that Pooh Shiesty held the barrel of his Draco to the back of his head. Pooh Shiesty and his co-conspirators subsequently exit the larger office building, encompassing the music studio through one set of doors, while RD, MMCW, and TD left through the other and called 911. Then fast forward to April 26. The filing then jumps nearly 3 months ahead. According to the government, Pooh Shiesty was arrested at his apartment in Frisco, Texas on April 1st, 2026. He made his first appearance in federal court on April 3rd. Then came the detention hearing on April 8th. Now here's why prosecutors spend time revisiting their hearing, because they reminded the district judge, another federal judge had already looked at this evidence once. What the judge said, the government quotes, according to the filing she found, the weight of the evidence was strong. She was troubled by his criminal history, his history involving firearms, and allegations he committed new crimes while on supervision, and the fact that he had already violated most restrictive conditions imposed by the Bureau of Prisons. Then comes the key finding. Judge Tolliver concluded she could not identify any combinations of release conditions that would reasonably protect the community to ensure Pooh Shiesty would not appear in court. That's the ruling his attorney are now asking the judge to overturn. While the government say the case is stronger today, the government basically tell the judge our evidence is no longer what it was in April. According to prosecutors, since that hearing, they recovered evidence they didn't previously have. Specifically, they say they located the alleged contract release, coincidence, the alleged video recording inside the recording room, coincidence, and additionally, evidence recording room, coincidence, and additionally, evidence supporting the witnesses' version of events. Now pause. That's one of the biggest developments in this entire filing, because the government is essentially saying, Judge, any weakness the defense points to months ago, we've now build those gaps. The nature of the crime is the government then walks through why they believe the tension is still appropriate. And according to prosecutors, Pushaisi stood at the center of everything. They allege he invited everyone to Dallas. He escalated the confrontation. He produced the firearms. He bought armed associates. He robbed RD. And he continued participating while remaining victims were allegedly robbed. Notice something. Prosecutors aren't trying to divide responsibility. They arguing he was the driving force behind the entire alleged plan. Then there's the 5 witnesses. And we got to get to one of those defense arguments, apparently, because the defense suggests that the government case rests largely on one victim, Gucci Mane, cooperate. And Pushaisi attorney believe he recanted his statements. But the prosecutors strongly disagree. According to this filing, they say they have 5 cooperating witnesses and victims. Not 1, but 5. They also say they have the cell phone location data, surveillance video, and the recording showing RD making the alleged statement that Pushaisi had been released from his label. Did anyone recant? This is another point prosecutors spend time addressing. According to the filing, the defense argued that the victim had previously recanted. The government and Gucci and the witnesses is still cooperating, allegedly. And if they're not cooperating, the evidence remain consistent. That's on you to take what you want, fam. It's pretty much this filing. I mean, Pushaisi was having relations with the people who were supervising him, which made sense about the day passes. He still couldn't get right. His father was trying to get his master's. That didn't work, so he piped them up to get released in its entirety. Daddy was the first to get bail. Then all of a sudden, the feds got the contract. Come on, fam. Y'all talk to me in the comments. This was the latest on Pushaisi. Let me know how y'all feel about the update. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Y'all check out the family. I shared it out on my wall. Y'all check them out. That was a good ass video right there. I got another one coming up. I got another one coming up from the family. But first, we're going to get into Carlos King. Let's see what he put out.
He and his crew are accused of kidnapping and robbing label boss Gucci Mane.
Pushaisi dropped from 1017. Shout out to real nigga ain't never did no police. All
right, what's up with y'all? So look, man, I'm back again with another video right now. Look, the Pushaisi situation done took another turn because somebody done released the video. It's an alleged video as of now, but it looked like it's a real deal video because if this is a real deal video, they definitely have enough to do what they need to do when it comes to this case. I think it's best for him just to take a plea. But basically, long story short, you can see Gucci Mane basically standing on 10 toes like he's supposed to. He ain't really doing what people were saying that he was doing. And one thing that I don't like, and I feel like it's weird as hell, people laughing and making jokes and talking about he was scared and shit like that, because half of the people who saying shit do not be outside. They don't go around nobody. They don't do no street shit. They ain't been around no street shit. They just talking and making jokes. That's one thing about the internet, boy. People trying to make jokes. And if you just pay attention, cause every time somebody say something in the comments, anytime you look around, bro, they're just trying to make a joke, bro. That's what this whole world is full of, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion. And I'm only saying that because, you know, I feel like it's lame to be saying what you would and wouldn't do in this type of situation if you wasn't in this type of situation. You know what I'm saying? But basically, you know, he was just saying shit. I'm gonna let y'all watch it, then I'm gonna come right back.
Oh shit. You dropping this done deal. Bro, let them know it's a done deal. Why is it done deal? Let them know you dropping me. I drop you. No, say it. Pushaisi dropped from 1017. Shout out to real nigga ain't never did no police or none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on. Bro, we just did that. That's done. What you do? You drop. You said you want to be dropped. You drop. Signed the paper. It's done.
All right, now that y'all seen that, you know, you can kind of tell right then and there that he really wasn't just scared, but at the same time, you know, he know better. He ain't crazy like shit. These little dudes might do something to me up in here. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, from the beginning of all of this, they basically were saying majority of everything that was said. Now in the court paperwork, they were saying that in the press conference. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna play that for y'all too, so y'all can rewatch it and see what the hell took place and what they were saying that they had and shit like that from the beginning. Because a lot of people were saying that a lot of things was capped. They were lying. This shit ain't gonna stick. This and this and that. You know what I'm saying? But as time progresses, you can see more and more shit coming out because back to back to back. Now they just said that he was too damn dangerous to get out of jail the other day. Pooh Shiesty. You know what I'm saying?
New this morning, the federal government says rapper Pooh Shiesty is simply too dangerous to be out on bond. The rapper's real name is Lontrell Williams Jr. He is asking to be released on bond ahead of his trial. You may remember he and 8 other men, including his father, are accused in the January robbing and kidnapping of his record label owner, Gucci Mane. The other defendants, including Shiesty's father and rapper Big 30, they're already out on bond. But here's this new filing. Prosecutors argue Shiesty should not be allowed out under any circumstances. They say no condition of release can protect the community.
This is some funny shit. Y'all must not be interested in what's playing on the screen. Wow.
Community or witnesses against Williams Jr. from the danger he poses. It goes on to say the danger here is concrete. Williams Jr. himself has shot at least 2 people. He leads a Memphis street gang of about 100 members.
For the Northern District of Texas. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. Pooh Shiesty, who was already on house arrest with an ankle monitor, could now face up to life in federal prison.
Oh, what shit? You dropping this done. Bro, let them know it's a done deal. Why is it done deal? Let them know you dropping me. I drop you. No, say it. Who should I drop in 1017? Shout out. Real nigga ain't never did no police, none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on. Bro, we just did that. That's done. What you do? You drop. You said you want to be dropped, you drop. That's done.
But I'm gonna show y'all this clip that I just seen. We already basically know a lot of the information, but I'm running it again for those who may have missed it. So this is it right here.
This morning in the Pooh Shiesty case, we are getting a look at pictures that show the moments investigators say the Memphis rapper's crew held Gucci Mane at gunpoint. This is from new government filings in the case. Good Morning Memphis was first to report that the feds say Pooh Shiesty is too dangerous to be given bond. And now we're getting a look at why. We told you that Shiesty and his crew are accused of kidnapping and robbing label boss Gucci Mane to get him released from his recording contract, Pooh Shiesty. This is the picture Shiesty's team took as proof that he had been released from the contract. And this picture shows why Gucci Mane would have signed a release deal. According to the feds, they say it's a member of Shiesty's crew holding Gucci Mane at gunpoint with an AK-47. We're also getting a look at what prosecutors say are text messages. Messages showing Shiesty recruit members of his gang to join him in the robbery. They say that first text is from Pooh Shiesty, saved under the contact name Michael Myers. He says, I need 6 certified for Saturday, pulling up on WAP, plus 2 drivers. WAP is Gucci Mane's nickname. The feds say Pooh Shiesty took $440,000 worth of Gucci's property, a wedding band, watch, earrings, and cash.
So you can kind of see what they was on. Now you can see those pictures and everything kind of match up to that shit. But I know Gucci Mane, you know what I'm saying, probably really feel played. That's why he's moving the way that he's moving, because there was messed up to do. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, behind closed doors and shit like that. But I ain't gonna lie though, if Pooh Shiesty was my son and shit like that, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna go with you to do nothing like this. This is just too crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that they felt Gucci Mane was gonna keep his street out of the way, and whatever took place afterwards was just gonna take place afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And they were just ready to deal with whatever consequences, but they didn't know that it was a reverse Uno card with this shit. But to record something like this is crazy to me. I don't give a damn. I know that they feel like that this was going to work, but cause this shit right here, man, it ain't gonna work. Cause you got to look at what the hell is in front of you. These people basically want to give your ass some decades and centuries of shit in jail, because you already been alleged to be this and that. So when they do hit the fan, you got to look at how they gonna be acting. You know what I'm saying? Like it did, and like they are acting right now. But ultimately, I just want to know y'all thoughts and opinions. Big 30 is out, and I don't understand. I'm not saying that he done did no shit, because this shit lame to be putting shit on people and stuff without no facts. But it's crazy that they let him out once this video situation get to hitting the surface. You know what I'm saying? When they came out with more pictures and shit. But you know, they do certain things so you can learn your fate. Basically, shit. They basically showing you what's gonna happen to you if you don't plead out, and showing you what they got subliminally. You know. But hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'm gonna let y'all watch this press conference and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. I just feel like the people that's laughing at Gucci Mane, you know what I'm saying, for getting robbed and possibly could have lost his life, it's crazy to me. Y'all too street for me. Y'all really badasses out there, boy. Just tough as hell. And they gonna do shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that if you're in a situation like that, what do you expect somebody to do? You got a family, a multi-millionaire, you got shit to live for. yeah, you're gonna be like, all right, you know what, y'all got it. It is what it is, and whatever happened gonna happen. But I know that they didn't think not one time ever that Cuz was gonna do what he did, and Pooh Shiesty was basically like trying to do a real drop with this shit. Like he was really trying to keep it strict though. He was like, hey man, you know Gucci Mane never did no rat shit with the police or whatever. Whoop. And Gucci Mane was like, man, fuck, man, nigga, you got did all it, man. You know, he was over it. And I feel like that if he was doing what people were saying that he was doing, Cuz like crying and shaking and shit, you know what I'm saying? If he was doing all of that, I mean, you can't fault somebody. Now, true enough, if you being a gangster, you talking all this shit, then you ain't got, I mean, you don't sit right with people. But ultimately, it feel like he was just doing, it is what it is. He was just like in a nonchalant type of state of mind at the time, you know. But I don't know, man. We're gonna talk about it in the comments, and I'll holler at y'all later on another video. Pooh Shiesty and them, if this is a real deal video, which I believe it is, then they hell, boy, they got some shit ahead of them. They better go ahead and plead out as fast as possible, because I'm pretty sure they got more than what they're showing. They just give you little bits and breadcrumbs for right now. But this is that press conference I was talking about. Y'all check it out. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. And yeah, we're gonna talk. All right.
Good morning. I'm Catherine Miller, the Acting Public Affairs Officer for the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Northern District of Texas. Today, you're going to hear from Ryan Rabel, the United States Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Jeremy Wright, Assistant Special Agent in charge of FBI Dallas. And we will have a brief question and answer session after their remarks. Please identify yourself by your name and your media outlet when asking questions, and confine the content of your questions to today's press conference. At the podium, joining Ryan Rabel and Jeremy Wright is Executive Assistant Chief of Police with the Dallas Police Department, Terrence Rhodes, Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Withers, Assistant U.S. Attorney Claire Demers, and Assistant U.S. Attorney and Violent Crimes Chief Jeremy Fugate, all of the Northern District of Texas. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ryan.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least 2 of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office. And I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from, and the incredible collaborative, investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country. And we are all working together to make our country safer. So thank you for being here today, and I'll answer some questions after my colleague here speaks. But now I'm going to turn it over to him, and this is Jeremy Wright, who's the Dallas FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Jeremy Wright, Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI Dallas. As United States Attorney Raybold said, we're here today to announce the arrest of several individuals in the Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee areas, as long as one here in Frisco, Texas. These arrests are the result of a violent kidnapping of 3 individuals here in the Dallas area. The majority of those arrested did travel from Memphis to Dallas to commit that offense. Our office collaborated with multiple law enforcement agencies and other FBI offices to carry out this investigation that ultimately led to these arrests. So I'd like to thank the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, Dallas Police Department, the Memphis Safe Task Force, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department, and the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department for helping with this investigation. Violent crime does remain a top priority for the FBI, and we dedicated significant resources from here in Dallas FBI, Nashville, Little Rock, Birmingham, and Atlanta FBI offices to investigate and successfully arrest these individuals. We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these. No matter who you are, we will fight every day alongside our partners to make our communities safer. Thank you.
And we have time for some questions. If you would just identify who you were with and your name would be helpful. Yes, sir.
Kevin Reese with WFAA.
Hi, Kevin.
It may be in the release that you're going to send us, but can you be more specific to who these victims are and a specific location of this studio that you were talking about?
I'll answer the last part first. Yes, it'll be in the complaint, and we're happy to get you a copy of that. It's now unsealed. It was off Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas, a music studio. That's what's identified in the complaint. As far as victims go, we won't get into at this time who the victims are or not.
Chase with the Dallas Morning News. Can you describe the injuries suffered by the 3 victims?
So one of the victims, and this is actually in the complaint, and we'll get you a copy as well. There's a photograph of the injury. It looks like there's some abrasions on the neck and arm.
You are still seeking one suspect, you said.
One of the individuals that's been charged has not had his initial appearance yet, but agents are actively working to locate and bring him to court.
And I wanted to touch on that actually. Eric Bushman, KRLD. Since there's one person you're still trying to get to come in, I guess it's on the arrest, so it's an initial appearance. You had said that you're trying to work out. Because you're going public with this, are you afraid at all that that's going to hinder eventually getting that individual in?
Agents are working to find him. The complaint has already been unsealed, and a number of these defendants have had their public hearing already, their initial appearance, and so it's already out there that this individual has been charged, and so that information is in the public record. But I trust that the agents will be able to identify this person and find them and bring them to justice. Of course, that person can turn themselves in immediately.
2 questions. This is Chase with the Dallas Morning News. So the initial incident happens in January 10th. We're here in April. Can you describe the timeline and the length of time, why we're talking about this now? Because it sounds like his arrest happened recently. And then the second part of that question, did all of the arrests happen yesterday, or were they happening over the span of time that we're talking about?
Yeah, good questions. I'll start with the last part. 8 of the 9 happened yesterday, and then we're still working on one more. And that was, again, a lot of those happened in Memphis. One happened in Nashville, and we're working now with our Georgia counterparts to get the last person brought to justice. Do you want to ask another question, follow up to that?
Actually, I forgot yet too. Come back after you answer the second.
Okay, and remind me of your first part, sir.
We had the initial incident on January 10th,
Yep.
or April 2nd. Can you describe and kind of characterize why that amount of time passed before the arrest?
Well, that was one of the reasons I wanted to list off some of the evidence that has been uncovered to date. A lot of this was subpoena work, search warrant work, and things like that in order to develop the investigation. And so the agents here with me, the agents out in the field, it takes a little bit of time to identify who did this offense and build a case so that we feel comfortable bringing the charges. So actually that's pretty quickly for a federal case of this gravity and this nature. And so I'm very proud of the investigative work, and it will continue from this office as well as our FBI and our local police department.
If convicted of these charges, these arrests, how serious are these crimes? What do these people face?
They're facing a range. So there's no mandatory minimum in this case. It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life imprisonment. And as you know, a lot of what will guide what's called the sentencing guidelines will be the individual's previous criminal history, the fact that one of these individuals committed the offense while on home confinement, so actually serving a federal offense. Assuming that individual is convicted, that will be an aggravating factor for sure.
Just real quick, I was curious, I know you're being quiet so far on the victims here, but could you at least tell us, outside of them being local to Dallas, were they aspiring artists? Are they known locally or even nationally? Can you at least tell us that?
I'm not going to get into the victim stuff at this time. I think that more will be coming out there that will help clarify, but I'm not at liberty at this stage of the investigation to disclose that.
And then can you describe the operation to conduct all of those arrests? I imagine they were in different places. Maybe they all happened around the same time. I'm not sure.
I'm going to hand that one off to my colleague here, Jeremy Wright.
Yeah, thank you for the question. It requires a lot of partnerships across multiple jurisdictions to be able to conduct simultaneous arrests in a manner, to not alert other folks and to do it safely. So really, it's just a coordinated effort. And fortunately, we have great relationships here locally with Dallas PD and our other partners, as well as other FBI offices have the similar relationships. Memphis is unique. They have the Memphis Safe Task Force there currently, which was kind of a help in a lot of this. So it's really just coordination and pre-planning.
And follow up to that. So were all of the arrests in Memphis or?
No, Memphis, we had one in Frisco, Texas yesterday morning. The rest were in Memphis. And as the U.S. Attorney said, we're actively pursuing the final arrest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you have another question, sir?
KDFW, mugshots, is that going to be out somewhere where we can get that?
I think that becomes public record, but I'm not sure. If I could follow up with you right after, Catherine, if you would get to make sure that we get that information over there. Thank you for coming. If there are any further questions, I just want to underscore the importance here in Northern District of Texas of vigorously prosecuting violent crime. And a couple of days ago, I did a press conference in Fort Worth, Texas, but it just highlights the collaboration. The state, local police are some of our best friends and best partners. Chief Como is a dear friend and partner of this office and has been fantastic for us working with some of the.
First of all, Sean Dunn, we're not even talking about that story anymore. That story we're not even on that. Are you delayed? I don't know. Maybe you are delayed in the chat or just delayed in life. I don't know. You say if he was black and the lady was white, totally different story. No, the story doesn't change, just the colors of the people change. But that we're not making it about race over here. So if you want to go into race, as far as that whole Walmart story, you can go to another channel. It's not going to be about race over here when it comes to that. All right? It's not going to be about race. We're not going to make it about race because it ain't got nothing to do with race. And like I said, if you want a content creator that's going to entertain race in that story, you can move on. You can move on. Or I can escort you out. Either way, it don't matter to me. But I'm not one of those channels that you trolls can come in and just say fuck shit and I entertain it, because I'm not. I'll get you the fuck up out of here.
The best in the business, the FBI, and I'm just really honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with the men and women in my office. So again, we look forward to prosecuting this case vigorously. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to Catherine Miller. Thank you.
All right, so that was Collins King, y'all. I'm gonna share all these videos out on my community wall. Y'all go check out the content creators, excellent videos. We got one more video about the whole Pooh Shiesty thing. And that's gonna be it. I don't know if I'm gonna revisit. Well, I will. I hate to start a story and don't keep y'all updated on the updates. So yeah, if there's any more updates, I'll cover them. We're gonna get into this last video about the family, and then we're gonna end it for today. And I appreciate everybody supporting the live. Shout out to my moderators. I appreciate y'all. Let's go.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
Calling me and texting me and DMing me for an update on Pooh's case. And because this alleged video came out, so let me tell you a couple things. Number one is I think it's pretty nasty work that there's leaks coming from the U.S. Attorney's Office in.
This ain't the first time. It's been nasty work. The feds are nasty people. The feds are more crooked than the people they lock up. Let's be clear, dear. Ain't no nasty work. It's nasty work because you sat out here and you said the feds didn't have a case, and the feds dropped something that showed they had a case. Feds been nasty. The feds ain't just get nasty with Pooh Shiesty. The feds been nasty. And now you want to sit up here because you sit up and upright. See, it be the crooked people that's supposed to be upholding the law for me. I just can't. Mr. Magoo gets on my fucking nerves. Sitting there looking like Mr. Magoo. He gets on my fucking nerves. This lawyer ain't shit. I mean, they get this money from these big, these clients like a Pooh Shiesty and things of that nature, and they just become so fucking crooked. It's just crooked. All of them. Just crooked. Can't trust none of them. But let's listen.
In Texas on evidence that they feel will benefit their case. Of course, they're not leaking evidence that will not benefit their case. That's the first part of that. Now let's look at the actual video itself. It does not negate my argument, my legal argument that I made at the bond hearing of whether or not this is a kidnapping case. The legal definition for federal kidnapping, this does not meet. The benefit.
I'm not going to even Google it because we've been on this live long enough and I'm actually ready to go. But I thought kidnapping was whether it's federal, state, city, whatever, is you holding somebody against their will. There's nothing more like holding somebody against their will if you got big ass guns and want to allow somebody out of a room. That's kidnapping. You holding a person against their will. Now, maybe when I come back and talk about it, I'll Google federal kidnapping, which I don't think is any more different than state kidnapping. Just saying.
Fit that they're having in this video is allegedly him getting out of a contract, which he never got out of. He never used. Nothing ever happened from it. So it doesn't change my argument that this is not a federal kidnapping charge. This is not a federal case in itself because it can't come in with the Commerce Clause. They didn't prove anything with these cell phones that were allegedly used, that there had some sort of cell phone information, that they communicated something with a cell phone. That was not used. So all these different things take it out of the federal realm of charging a crime. That was my original argument. It's still my argument. Number three of my number 1, 2, and 3. One is that it's a dirty trick by the U.S. Attorney's Office to release evidence. Number 2 is that it still doesn't meet the definition. Number 3 in that realm of what is important in this alleged video is that it does not show Pooh with a weapon. Again, they said that Pooh had this AK-47, this alleged AK-47, and it doesn't.
A 360 contract or potentially a decade in the feds. Which one would you pick? And don't forget, you the one that signed that contract in the first place. And besides that point, anytime your evidence in your federal case has been leaked to the public before a verdict, before a trial, man, it's never a good thing. And then the real question you gotta ask yourself, who and how? Man, most of us already saw the new clip in regards to Pooh Shiesty allegedly robbing Gucci Mane out of his contract, right? And the first thing that came to your mind, let me know in the comments. Because let me tell you what I saw. I saw probably one of the dumbest criminals I can never come across. I saw a man in evidence just telling himself. I saw a man who just made his attorney job 10 times harder. And if we thought the feds was bluffing, which 9 times out of 10 ain't not, showing those screenshots, trust and believe. After this video that surfaced online, nobody that's a co-defendant in that case should feel otherwise. Then you ask yourself this, hey man, as long as the feds been around, which is before our time, evidence in their case never just mysteriously leaked from them. So then you asking yourself this, who the hell in your crew putting your freedom at risk even more? Then a deep question coming of all of that, right? We talked about in the last video who had possession of this video because the feds had told us. And on top of that, that person out here on bond promoting a new album and recently getting signed. Now, I'm not saying he the one that leaked it, but I am telling you it was in his possession first. So how it got out, that's for the feds to find out. Nonetheless, it's out. In this video, we're going to see what that possibly means for these co-defendants. Take a look at some recent transcripts, see where this case stands today. Because I can tell you this, anytime you got video surveillance, and that's 10 times better than any man or woman confession. So before we go over this, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it.
Said I needed to make another PSA. Listen, if you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. It's a bank to earn. You can 70 the links. Promo code so you go through the full.
You dropped
it so you don't miss out. So let's check out this video.
shit. Oh, shit. You dropped this done. Bro, let them know it's a done deal. Bro, it's a done deal. Let them know you dropping me. I drop you. No, I'm saying. Who should I say drop from 1017? Shout out to real nigga ain't never did no police shit or none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on. Bro, we just did that. That's done. What you do? You drop. You said you want to be dropped, you drop. Sign paper and it's done.
Well, I guess it's no more allegedly, huh? Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci Mane. And the crazy thing about it, Pooh Shiesty was saying, shout out to Gucci. Real ain't never did no police, assuming he ain't going to the police. He not taking accounting for the actual police that was with him. And some are saying including his father. But if I'm Pooh Shiesty, I'm keeping a close eye on my dog, Big 30. You see, Big 30 is identified by the feds as the person behind the camera in new photos of Gucci Mane being robbed and kidnapped before the video was actually released last week. You see, back in June 24, 2026, it was a Wednesday when the United States Attorney Ryan Raybound filed a motion in response to Pooh's new attorney's push for bail. As mentioned in the previous video, the 25-page filing featured some new details about the case, including photos from a video, which you guys just saw, that was captured of the crime. The new document confirms Big 30-born Rodney Wright Jr. recorded the parts of the alleged incident on his cell phone at the demands of Pooh Shiesty. Unsatisfied with merely obtaining the written release of the contract, Pooh Shiesty announced that he wanted to record Gucci Mane, and that's key, because Pooh Shiesty wanted Big 30 to record, and he did just that, which would probably be their most damaging evidence. He had the paperwork signed. That was more likely than to see Gucci Mane under duress after signing that paperwork. And of course, you all heard the cell phone stating that Pooh Shiesty was dropped from 1017. Also, one of the photos show co-defendant DeMarcus Glover holding a Draco while standing next to Gucci. He ain't looking in his eyes as Gucci tried to approach the door after signing that paperwork. Gucci was forced to record on camera. Also in that video was Pooh Shiesty dad in some brown slippers. Let me get this straight. Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci with his chain on camera, with his voice, while 30 record, give the feds the evidence, make sure he show the dude that's holding the Draco in there with no mask covering his face, not to mention show Pooh Shiesty dad in the video as well. Nobody needs to say shit.
Shit, oh, shit. You dropped this done deal. Bro, let them know it's a done deal, bro. It's a done deal. Let them know you dropping me. I drop you. No, I'm saying. Who should I say drop from 1017? Shout out to real nigga ain't never did no police shit or none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on. Bro, we just did that. That's done. What you do? You drop. You said you want to be dropped, you drop. Sign paper and it's done.
Now, as mentioned, the video was released on the first day of July 2026. They recovered the video one way or another before Big 30 had a bomb. How it got out? Well, fam, your guess good as mine. Now, the strange thing about all this is before Big 30 had a bomb, the feds say he would be considered a flight risk, saying that to the judge, because he was going to sign a 7-figure deal. And just this past week, that deal was disclosed all throughout social media. Some say to try to push the narrative. which happens to be the same week the feds make that new filing, and now the video comes out.
Case. New filings this week show that the government believes Big 30, real name Rodney Wright, is a flight risk. And here's why. They say he's on the verge of signing a 7-figure recording deal. The government argues if he has access to all of that money, he'll be able to go on the run, making his proposed $10,000 bond payment irrelevant. Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 are 2 of 9 people accused of robbing and kidnapping Gucci Mane at gunpoint in Dallas earlier this year. The feds say Big 30 handed Shiesty his gun and then blocked the door while Pooh Shiesty carried out the robbery.
Now, the email was from Norback, which is a media group. They sent this email June 14, 2026 to the Honorable Court to grant Big 30 a bond. They quoted, "To the Honorable Court, my name is George Monger. I am the President and Chief Executive Officer for Normac Media Group, which does business as Connect Music. Normac, or the company, which is a Tennessee-based music distribution and music publishing company located at 158 Vance Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee. I submit this letter to provide the court with factual background regarding the company's commercial relationship with Rodney Wright Jr., professionally known as Big 30. I offer the following solely as factual business information within any personal knowledge. I respectfully defer to the court and to the counsel a record of all questions concerning the terms and conditions of Mr. Wright's release, and I take no position on any matter outside the scope of the company's business relationship described below. The nature of the agreement on April 3rd, 2026, Normac and Endless Entertainment LLC, Big 30, under which Normac serves as the executive distribution for certain sound recordings and the administrator of associated intellectual property rights. The agreement represents a substantial commercial commitment by the company and establishes a multi-year business relationship centered on the distribution, marketing, promotion, and monetization of recorded music and related assets. The financial supports economic responsibility is that Big 30's professional activities generate income that support his children, family obligations, and a broad network of employees, contractors, producers, engineers. Endless Entertainment did the same thing, which is a company owned by Zach Randolph, also known as Zebo. It's crazy that the timing of all this came out when this video came out, and Pooh Shiesty attorney responded to try to get him bond, but now everything is being released. Check out what an attorney had to say after looking into all this as well.
Happened, and so Pooh had a chance. The security guard. I'm still waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come into the recording studio and be like, "Yo, Gucci Mane, you've been punked." Sadly, I don't think that's going to happen. That looks like a real video. It looks like when the police reports first came out, it was clear there was no surveillance cameras inside the recording studio room where the kidnapping happened. And so Pooh had a chance. The security guard who gets robbed at gunpoint of his Rolex watches, Pooh could say, "That's not me." But the thing was going to be, is Gucci going to testify and say what happened in the room? Gucci will probably still have to testify if Pooh makes him by taking it to trial, but more than likely Pooh's going to need to cop out a plea because the federal sentencing guidelines are so bad. How do you take out a camera in the room with no surveillance and then record that? Drugs. That has to be drugs. This is truly a lesson in life, ladies and gentlemen. This world is delicate and fragile, and if you have opportunity and you waste it, or worse, you bury yourself, it's over. You only live once. It's precious.
But there you have it, fam. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to go to Philadelphia. We got to talk about a person who was dribbling on the court with his girlfriend and stumbled upon a man with a dead body with a gun in his hand. Then we got to go to BR, where we checked out the footage and the live footage of a mom who was gunned down in front of her children at a gas station. And then we also got to go check out this trial where it seemed a verdict had came in for the standout Arkansas football player who happens to work for the Tennessee Titans up until...
Okay, so on Monday, that court case that just ended of that football player, we're going to get into that on Monday. We're going to get into that case on Monday. But, yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
To the recent allegations of killing his girlfriend, well, one of them, after being pregnant with his child on her 25th birthday. So I won't waste too much time on this outro. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Shout out to the family. Shout out to the family. Y'all go check that video out. I'm going to share that on my wall. Y'all go over and hit the like button and nothing else. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Check them out. I love this channel. All right, so we're going to get out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. Like I said, shout out to my moderator. Shout out to the new subscribers that may have subscribed to the channel. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Unless I get an update over the weekend on these mini stories that we're covering that I feel can't wait till Monday, I will see y'all Monday over here. All right. With that being said, thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Ms. B. With that being said, y'all have a blessed, beautiful weekend. I appreciate all of your support. And yeah, until next time, y'all stay safe, blessed, and never stressed. And until next time, true sippers, I should say true seekers stand up. We out. Y'all be good. Thank y'all so much for the support. I appreciate it.